Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Avernus. I am DM Steve, and with me are the alleged five. Say hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, that joke
Hi.
never gets old.
Is Arthur out there?
Ooh, is Arthur out there? He might be. Is he watching? He's our biggest fan. I think he's watching. You have any messages for your enemy? Is he really your enemy? I mean, you guys didn't leave on the worst terms, did you?
We left on good terms, honestly.
Yeah, we're on a good turn. We just give him a hard time.
Yeah. He told me like he's coming for you guys. Like not even like his character, like him personally. My brother is coming for you guys.
This is why I'm safe. In 3 weeks, I will be the one going live on the stream to deliver the awful news that Arthur has gone on a murderous rampage.
Yeah, he says he's
happens.
in chat and he says of course he's here. So yeah, I mean it was a big week for most of us. Thanksgiving week, right? Did you guys I mean obviously things are different. We're not able to do big like my family, we get together like every holiday. So Thanksgiving is my personal favorite holiday. So the fact that we weren't able to get everyone together was kind of, you know, I felt it more now than I did on say 4th of July or Memorial Day. But did you guys manage to do anything for Thanksgiving?
We only had 9 people over for 9 total people for Thanksgiving instead of the usual like 15 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually went to my brother's house mostly. We did it mostly for my grandma, which is actually the worst reason to do it, especially with like everything that's been, it's getting so dangerous. But like she has been locked down like pretty good, and we've all been pretty locked down. So we did it in his backyard. It was just me, my family, my brother's family, and my grandma, like in his backyard for like 2 hours before it got so cold we had to call it. So we did get together, but like, yeah, it wasn't a big thing. But I wanted to ask you guys 2 questions. But my first question is specifically, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh, no.
But just to
No
qualify
question.
for this, no desserts, because that's a separate category coming next.
Stuffing. Absolutely stuffing. Every year I eat it
Stuffing's
all.
your thing. But like that's a hard one to say because there are so many different kinds of stuffing, right? So what kind of stuffing do you like?
As long as it's not wet.
Okay. So like box stuffing's good, stuffing actually cooked in the turkey, that's good.
Yeah, as long as it's not cooked with all the innards, I'm good.
Okay.
My wife made some homemade, and it's always amazing.
Do you like nuts in your stuffing?
I always love nuts.
Raisins?
Raisins are all right.
Okay.
Celery, onions,
Raisins,
carrots.
that one that kills it for people, right? My wife will not eat stuffing if it has raisins anywhere near it.
I can't eat stuffing if it has anything in it. I can just eat plain stuffing.
Just the bread cubes, basically.
Yeah, I mean, just regular stuffing with nothing else mixed in. No celery, no raisins, nothing else.
No flavor.
Oh, it has flavor.
They just soak it in the
Salt and
turkey
pepper.
stuff. Yes.
It's stuffing flavor.
So we have one vote from Rick for stuffing. What about everyone else?
Candy yams for me.
Okay, and you like which kind do you like? Because in our family we do 2 different kinds.
I don't like the smash. I like the full yams with the marshmallows and butter and pineapple.
Yeah, so you like them like in like baked chunks, kind of caramelized with like the crushed pineapple on top and marshmallow topping. Okay.
Yep.
We did not do that one this year, actually. Did you guys do it?
We did, yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna have to come steal some
I like
from you.
desserts.
You like desserts? You said.
No, the candied yams sound like dessert with
it. It kind of sounds like it does sound like a dessert, and it's very sweet. Yeah. Yeah, this year we did the mash kind where you mash them like mashed potatoes, and then we did the brown sugar crumble topping. No marshmallows, though, because my wife also hates marshmallows almost as much as she hates raisins. All right, so we got 1 vote candied yams, 1 vote for stuffing. What about the rest of you guys? Or do you guys just not like Thanksgiving food?
Green bean casserole.
Okay, green bean casserole, that's always a classic.
I'm ethnically Chinese, and my parents always make this kind of sticky fried rice every year for Thanksgiving, so that's my favorite.
Ooh.
But I guess we're going like conventional favorites. It's probably
I mean,
not.
we don't have to. But it's if that's the Thanksgiving food to you, then that's the Thanksgiving food.
It is in fact a Thanksgiving food for me.
Okay, so what is in that fried rice then?
It's like Chinese sausage, mushrooms, pickled radishes, and dried shrimp. It sounds disgusting, but it's actually amazing.
Sounds not something that I would imagine being a Thanksgiving food, but that's cool. It almost sounds like you just replace the rice with like stuffing and make it into a stuffing.
Kind of.
Yeah. And Jordan, for your green bean casserole, you just like is there like a special way you like it? You like the one with like cream, like the can of cream and mushroom soup with the green beans tossed with fried onions.
Yeah, fried onions on top. Yeah, I'm a basic bitch. That's how I like it.
Yeah,
Me too.
I mean that's fine. It's a classic for a reason, right?
You got to have all of it together, anyways.
Yeah, it's super good.
So last, I want to hear you, Tyler. Like, what do you guys do in Texas for Thanksgiving? You just do like a whole like barbecue pulled pork or something?
Well, what normal people do, I'm not entirely sure. I don't really like Thanksgiving food all that much, especially when I was a younger kid. I was really picky. So then my parents don't love it either. So we just started making whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like this year we had tacos. I think a year or two ago we had pasta. So just dinner.
So you just treat it like a normal meal and not specifically Thanksgiving.
Yeah, maybe like a little fancier or a little bigger, but
Sure.
like nothing in particular.
Okay. So this actually kind of reaffirms, for me personally, my favorite is usually it's the candied yams. The sweet potato casserole has been my favorite. I think food wise. The close second is like a cream corn, which is really really good that I love. But we kind of make that year round, so I don't kind of associate it only with Thanksgiving. But this does reaffirm. What's that?
So say if you guys haven't had Steven's cream corn, it is the best.
It's pretty good, right?
It is bomb.
How would I have had his cream corn?
Well, I'm going to tell you, the next time everybody's able to play D&D live and you fly out here, Tyler, Steven will bring a big bowl for the game.
I can make some.
Sounds good.
Cream corn, yeah. It's pretty good, and it's
pretty damn good.
I've been like refining it slightly every bit, like years. And some years when I make it, it's like I put all the seasoning and I taste it, and then I don't like it, and I spend like a bunch of time fighting the seasoning. This year, I seasoned it without measuring, just from like eyeballing it, and stirred it up, and I didn't have to change a thing. It was perfect out of the gate, which is always the best. So, but the interesting thing, like what everyone's saying here, reaffirms my experience with this question to people is that nobody likes Thanksgiving for like the turkey. You know what I mean? Like the turkey's the main dish. It's like kind of this iconic thing, but nobody ever goes, "Oh yeah, turkey's the best." It's always like the turkey's there, but side dishes are what makes Thanksgiving.
Yep. Turkey for me is the leftover sandwiches. I love a turkey sandwich.
Oh,
I'd almost rather skip Thanksgiving and go straight to leftovers.
She makes this her special sauce gravy with oh my gosh. I think my son's had like 5 or 6 of those gigantic sandwiches, like Subway sides.
Wow.
They're so good.
But it's not dry turkey, it's wet. The gravy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's like pulled pork with turkey.
Nice.
That's interesting. I'll have to try that sometime. When I make the cream corn, you can make that turkey for me for the group. Oh, notice he didn't volunteer to.
I don't know how to do it. It's just my mother-in-law's.
Well, makes it. Just hit her up and say, "Mother-in-law, I need some gravy, please."
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, nobody I know ever like goes gaga for the turkey, and like this year, I made a turkey. I always make a turkey, but I made it by myself for the first time, using my mom's over to help me make sure I don't screw it up. But like this is my first time like doing it on my own, and it came out pretty good. Flavor wise, I really loved it. And then I made this big platter of turkey. It was like 13 pounds of turkey. Took it over to my brother's house, and like they were making a turkey too, because we didn't know if we were actually going to be able to get together or not, right? Because leading up to like Thanksgiving in LA, especially, they were saying they might lock everything down. We might not be able to get together at all. So they made a whole turkey, and we made a whole turkey just in case we had to back out at the last second. But I took it over there. I was really proud of my turkey. It tasted delicious. I was in love with it. And then my brother and his wife, like they made a turkey. He pulled it out. He carved it, and it was better than my turkey.
No.
Partly because it was being carved fresh right before we ate, and not like I had to carve it and package it in foil and then drive over there. Yeah. I think that might be why but it was really, really good. But it was sucky because I had like 13 pounds of turkey that didn't get touched because everyone went for that turkey first.
Yep.
Yeah. The downside being nobody ate my turkey, but the upside being the leftover turkey ended up being really good.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's
Turkey
what you
sandwiches.
get. 26 pounds of turkey for like 9 people. That's gonna happen. There's not enough turkey to be eaten, right?
Yeah, I think that was the common thread is we made like the normal amount for every Thanksgiving, and there was only like the 4 of us.
Yeah.
I've got it for the next week and a half.
Because again, Thanksgiving is all about the side dishes, right? So you have to make lots of side dishes, even though there's not a lot of people, and it's hard to make small amounts of that. All right. Well, let's move on to the bonus round, which is now that we've gotten food out of the way. Do you guys have a favorite Thanksgiving dessert?
Apple pie.
Apple pie?
100% apple pie.
Like
mine's. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you like the one that has you like the full. There's like different kinds of. Like, some have like the lattice on top. Some have like the full covered on top. I think there's different names for them.
My wife makes them, however she makes them, whether she feels fancy or not.
Okay.
This year she made an apple cobbler.
Ooh, that's good.
That is really good.
It was. I never had it. It was good too.
Nice. All right, and what were you saying?
She used those those white what are those sweet apples? Something crisps.
The honey crisps?
Yes, those.
Honey crisps. My son did a big thing this week where they got 5 different kinds of apples and taste tested them all. So like I'm up on my apple varieties. And you are definitely talking about honey crisp.
I have no idea. As I say, mine's whipped cream with pumpkin pie, but more whipped cream than pumpkin pie.
Whipped cream with the pumpkin pie underneath.
Yes.
It's basically like the pumpkin pie is just a whipped cream delivery mechanism, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's about right.
Yeah. Very cool. What about everyone else?
Apple pie. I'm basic. I also make it myself, so I always I'm always super vain about it.
Okay, well now I nominate you to bring an apple pie when we get together for our D&D
no
feast.
kidding. Gonna have our own Thanksgiving feast. That's awesome.
Okay. Jordan?
Same. Apple pie.
Wow, this is apple pie almost across the board.
Wow.
Tyler?
Same kind of. Don't really like most of it a ton, more so than other stuff. So we just kind of have whatever. I don't have a favorite.
That's sad. I feel so bad for you right now.
Yeah, I get a lot of pity. It's my life. It's a lifestyle.
But I'm with Mike on this one, which is pumpkin pie is like my favorite. Like I love pumpkin pie. So apple pie's good, but I feel like you get apple pie year round, and pumpkin pie kind of comes and goes only around this time of year. So maybe that's why I get super excited for it. I actually didn't have pumpkin pie this year.
That's so sad.
No? Wow.
What's your favorite then?
It is my favorite, but like, so here's the story, right? We're over at my brother's, and his mother-in-law made the pumpkin pie, and my brother made a banana pudding. It's like a vanilla pudding with like Nilla wafers and bananas in it. That is like straight out of my grandma's cookbook, and it sounded so good that I said I'm going to eat the banana pudding, and some of the other people got pumpkin pie, and everyone just was like, "Oh, this pumpkin pie doesn't taste good. It's missing something. It's not great this year. Something's off." So I just stuck with my banana pudding and not the pumpkin pie, you know? So
how did the banana pudding come out? Did it come out pretty good?
It was really good, yeah.
Look good.
It was pretty much spot on to how it usually is, you know? The Nilla wafers and the bananas and everything. So definitely he did it justice. Let's put it that way. So he can bring the banana pudding for our feast.
Good job, Arthur.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that's enough reminiscing about Thanksgiving and delicious foods. Are you guys ready to dive back into our Beyond Avernus campaign?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to
Definitely.
Yikes. That mic was very loud. What
I
were you saying,
prepared
bud?
for death every day.
You're definitely ready.
Okay. So, I mean, we could just sit and talk about food for the whole like stream if you guys want. I'm cool with that. It's actually easier for me than actually, running a D&D campaign.
Yep.
Can
No,
I
you
roll
guys,
to bake brownies?
you guys want to play? Yeah, you can.
They're pretty solid. 15.
What's your cooking tool proficiencies?
I'm sorry, that brings it back down to a 10.
Oh, minus
Oh,
one.
I would be terrible.
You burned it.
It's
In real
okay.
life, I can make really good
bake
brownies.
also.
Digital dice, Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right.
Still
Well,
bad.
let's get ready to jump into tonight's episode of Beyond Avernus. Our group is still in Avernus. I know it's called Beyond Avernus. We'll get there, I hope. For now, it's still Avernus.
Question mark?
Around Avernus?
We still got the question mark, right? We still got the question mark. But let's get going tonight. Our group just finished killing Yinogu, and Asmodeus showed up at the end with a couple of devils holding like a giant chest, and he wants to give you guys a present for doing such a good job for him. So we'll jump right into that as soon as our opening is over. So enjoy the opening, and I'll see you guys in the game.
Deep in the lower planes, detached from all the comforts of the material world, lies a realm called Bator, otherwise known as the Nine Hells. 9 distinct layers make up this plane of existence, each ruled by a single lord which binds the layer under its willpower. The first layer, Avernus, welcomes all visitors to its war-torn lands. Here, the blood war rages on between devils and demons in an eternal dance for dominance. Deep below Avernus are the other layers. Diz, Minaros, Fleligos, Stygia, Malbolge, Maladomni, Cania, Nessus, each protected from teleportation magic by the lord of that lair. This is where the story takes us, as our alleged 5 set their eyes down towards the 8th layer of hell, Cania, and its lord, Mephistopheles, as they seek to free Ervis Kale from his bonds. Join us as we venture deep down beyond Avernus.
All right, welcome back. Hopefully, you guys get excited hearing that opening cinematic. We were just talking about, D&D Beyond and them having an awesome sale, and they're not sponsoring our stream or anything. Although they could, like, if anyone's at D&D Beyond wants to, like, reach out to me. We'll set it up. But yeah, they're having a big sale. So if you don't own everything, like apparently I do, go buy it. We did do play. One of the things my brother did was run a D&D game for us on Saturday, like for my family, because we hadn't been able to play with each other for like a while, which was cool. But the problem being, a lot of them use Roll20. We use Roll20 character sheets instead of D&D Beyond because it was just easier with the pre-generated characters. And I love Roll20, but like I much prefer D&D Beyond character sheets and the Beyond 20 integration. It's so much easier than using the Roll20 sheets, I think.
Yeah.
Now Roll20 will never sponsor us.
I mean, they wouldn't before.
That's true.
There's room in my heart for both.
Okay, so let me just get this going real quick.
Robar.
There we go. There we go, Robar.
My old friend.
So when we last were here in Beyond Avernus, we see the camera opens up and we can see an old devil camp that had been taken over by demons that had been camping in their scouring and scourge across the plain of Avernus. And we see the alleged 5 standing just outside the camp, while in the background, scores and scores of imps lay waste to the directionless quasits and all the leftover demons. I don't remember what you guys did and didn't kill. I think it was just the little guys that were left. But they're all being like laid to waste, and the camera kind of like pulls back as we see Asmodeus and you guys having a conversation. And as the camera pulls back, it kind of turns and looks across like the wasteland of Avernus and zooms like really, really far and fast, like over everything. And we just see like more scores of devils and demons fighting everywhere. Barges of devils barges of demons washing up off the shores of river Styx and being pushed back by devils. And the camera moves faster and faster until a familiar sight of Bell's Forge, the Volcano Forge, is on the horizon. And the camera pulls up to the front gates, and we see posted guard, like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40, 50 devils just guarding this place. And the camera goes in through the front door, and we follow the familiar hallways and the snaking paths to a staircase that leads down into the belly of the forge. And we see the frost giants at work, hammering it out, working on weapons of war. And sitting on his throne is Bell, being tended to by an Amnesu devil. And the Amnesu, we come in, we hear the conversation, and the Amnesu is kind of saying, "Oh, we're sorry, boss, but it seems like Balacross failed. The alleged 5 did not come here as you had hoped." And Bell is like tapping his fingers on the throne, and he smiles and he says, "No, but they've done far better. Exactly as I hoped they would." And there's like a slight smile on his face, and he says, "So long as we can keep them pointed at our enemy, things will go quite well for us." And he smiles and begins laughing. And then the Amnesu's like, "Well, yes, but what about her? They're gonna come for you, you know. They're not leaving without breaking that contract." And he nods and he laughs even harder and he says, "Let them try. I'll be ready for them." And that's when the camera does like a hard cut back to like a shot of like Ava standing outside of the devil camp, looking pretty beat up and scuffed, having a very, very close brush with death. And the camera pans up and we see like, you know, Hal, Marius, Ava, and Zeke kind of standing in front of Asmodeus, who is leaning on his like little staff very nonchalantly, as a couple of bearded devils carry a very hefty, like, I don't know, what do you call those things? Like when they carry like the kings, you know, and they're like holding the platform.
Palanquin.
Is that what they're called?
Uh-huh.
I learned something today. So that's what they're carrying, and on it, instead of a throne, is like a big, pretty hefty chest, which they kind of like come in front of you guys and like just place it on the floor. And Asmodeus just, you know, looks right at you, Hallandar, and says,
Now, Hal, wasn't this fun? Exactly like it was meant to be. Taking care of the Demon Scourge one fight at a time. You did quite well.
I'm not interested in treasure. You can give it to the other guys.
and he nods and he smiles and he says,
Are you sure? I've put something very special in here for you. You've earned it, after all.
Is it a contract?
Oh, no. We're well beyond contracts at this point. Normally, I use contracts to make sure people fulfill their end of the bargains, but since you guys are just willing to do it contract-free, well, why would we want to put some of that pesky contract in the way? You keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be there to reward you.
and his eyes like kind of drift across like the rest of you, and as it like kind of like crosses you, Marius, he just gives like a little bit of a wink to you, and then he actually motions for you, Zeke, to come and like take a small walk with him, if you would.
Is he doing his time stop thing right now? Because remember there were a lot of dretches that were funneling out of that cave.
Yeah, he is not doing his time stop, but behind you, all the dretches are being cleaned up by the imps.
Okay. I'll, I guess, kind of just tentatively walk with him.
Yeah, he reaches out and like tries to like he basically holds his hand up for your hand so he can like take your hand and walk with you.
I'm not giving him my hand. I need those. I'll just walk with him.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk with them. And he calls back over his shoulder to like Ava and Hal and Marius, and he just says,
Feel free to help yourself to the spoils of war, alleged 5.
and takes, you know, your hand. Or he tries to take your hand, you kind of like pull it away, and he like smiles, and he kind of like goes to do like the arm on the shoulder kind of thing. Do you pull away from that too?
No, because I feel like this is going to get worse and worse.
Yeah. So he kind of like he has his hand on your shoulder enough to make it slightly uncomfortable, right?
Zeke
Yeah.
are my ripe little fruit. You're almost ready for harvest, are you not? I can feel.
No, I can feel like I'm not. I don't think a harvest is a word I would use to describe my future situation.
Well, I don't know what you would describe it as, but it certainly feels like a harvest to me. Your soul's getting stronger, although, and he sniffs you a little bit. He's like, I sense less of the divine energy than before. Crisis of faith.
Oh, the crisis is over. But you probably knew that already. Don't imagine there's a lot of divine presence down here without your say-so.
He, you know, nods along with you.
Just know that just because you've rejected your spirituality doesn't mean you're out of our contract.
I know. Contracts are very binding. If all it took was a little crisis of faith to break one, you wouldn't be the Lord of the Nine Hells or whatever your title is.
It's true. Well, I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that I was aware of your change of faith, and I'm still looking forward to all the time we're going to spend together. Now,
You do that, Asmodeus. You look forward to that.
now, if perhaps you were interested in a way out of our deal, I might have a way. No pressure or anything, but so long as you can convince 2 of your friends to take the deal that you took, I'll release
Save your
you.
breath.
And then
No,
they
I'm
would
not
just have to
getting them
no,
caught up
listen.
in this.
They would only have to go on to sign up 2 of their friends. And then they can go on to sign up 2 of their friends. And before you know it, everyone is going to be much better off.
Asmodeus, do you think I haven't seen this before?
What do you mean?
Did you get this idea from the material plane?
He's like,
I'm busy laughing. Hang on a second. Yeah. So he's like nodding, and he's like,
as a matter of fact, I did. I signed up for this service. Look, and he reaches and pulls out a business card and hands you his.
well, he hands you his doTERRA, like Asmodeus doTERRA business card.
Think about it. Just think about it. No pressure. I'm having a little bit of a party. You can come check out some of the merchandise.
No, I don't want a neon pink war machine.
All right. Well, offer's still open whenever you change your mind.
And he kind of like squeezes your shoulder one last time, pats you on the head, and whistles for his like bearded devils to come, and just kind of like a giant like earthquake makes like a crevice open in the earth, and him and everyone else like walk, like him and the like his devil entourage walks back down into like the crust of the land, which like shifts and like closes behind him.
Okay, I guess I want to head back to the party.
Yeah.
He was just pyramid scheme thing, and another one of those. Oh, you'll get out of your deal if you sign up 2 of your friends for a contract. It's nothing.
Good to know.
He's really touchy.
Yeah, so back with you guys, right? There's this like pretty nice chest that looks like it's made out of like infernal iron, just sitting there in front of you guys. So like, what would you guys like to do with it? You guys gonna open it?
I don't know.
Looks at like Hal, Morthos, Marius, and like if nobody's gonna like go up and grab it, then she's gonna like cautiously step in that direction to see if anyone's gonna stop her. And if no one's gonna stop her, she's gonna go take a look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop her.
Yep. You want to just like lift up? Like, are you just gonna like open it?
Yeah.
All right. Can you make me a DC 35 dexterity saving throw?
Fuck yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yo, you almost did it too.
Yeah, you asked the wrong party member for that.
with Marius's bonus, you get pretty freaking close to 35. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. Yep.
No, but so like you lift up the thing. The lid's actually pretty heavy, and you struggle a little bit. What's your strength score?
9.
Yeah, you struggle. But it does like lift open with a bit of effort, and maybe somebody comes along to like help. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Marius comes over and starts helping, but out of her eye line.
Yeah, and as the like lid opens, you can see this chest is filled to the brim with what looks to be like gold pieces. And you can see like just each gold piece seems to be stamped with like the symbol of Bator, like on one side, and on the reverse side, like there are faces. All the 9 lords of the hell, each lair has their own like face represented on some of these gold pieces, and it's just filled to the brim with gold pieces, as well as a sitting across the top of the gold is a giant longbow that looks to be carved out of like some sort of like bone like material. It's like dark. It almost looks like burnt bone in a way, and it has a bit of like embers that seems to be pulsing red. And the string looks to be made from some very fancy silk.
I was gonna pick it up and kind of show it to Hal
Yeah,
and kind of like wiggle her eyebrows a little bit.
it's definitely warm to the touch, right? As you touch it, it feels warm, and it almost feels like tree sap makes it a little sticky to your hands.
Is this from the burnt brambles?
As a matter of fact, Zeke, this is absolutely 100% made out of the burnt brambles wood.
Oh no. Oh, we did kind of help those ghosts out. They probably aren't haunting it.
No, they left.
Oh no, Hal looks pretty sweet.
You remember what happened last time somebody said that, right?
Mm,
No.
someone said that last time.
The cool water.
Oh, right.
Probably isn't cursed.
Yep. And in the background while this is happening, Marius is taking the Hellfire Lance, and he's got the butt of it, not the sharp part, and he's just pushing through the coins to see if there's anything else in the chest.
Okay. Yeah, as you dig through the chest, you push around the gold quite a bit. It doesn't seem like there's any other items, but it does seem like quite a significant amount of gold here.
Hmm.
The other thing, too, which you guys do have in your possession is Yinogu's flail that's like, was laying on the ground near you guys. I don't know what you guys did with it.
Oh, I would pick it up.
Yeah, I think
Pick
you
it
guys
up,
had.
but don't touch it.
You guys said you were picking it up without touching it. And I don't know what you guys were doing with it though.
I'm gonna put it in Saul's saddlebags so we don't have to touch it.
Okay. Yeah.
Does it? Oh, you know what? Never mind. So Hal, are you gonna use the bow?
I mean, I'll take a look at it, but it doesn't speak Elvish like this one. And I gesture to the one that I have, let alone sing in Elvish.
Oh, weird. Mine's sings in Dwarvish.
How crude.
Wow.
So yeah,
Sounds like rocks falling.
Yeah, so while you guys are like kind of going over the chest and doing this and that, Morthos has like kind of like slipped away from this scene, and you kind of see that he's made his way over towards the body that's lying still of Smiler the Defiler. So Morthos, you kind of like walk and you're watching, and he's lying still, right? Because he was pretty much smashed by Yinogu's like flail, and he outright died. So you were kind of like cautiously like approaching, and as you're kind of getting close, you see there's like a shudder in his body and like a scream of pain, and then you hear him take like a super deep like breath, like as he rolls over and starts coughing like he's trying to catch his breath.
You okay, Smiler?
Oh, that fucking hurt, brah.
Did I?
Oh,
Hey, bro, I thought you were dead, man.
I was. Oh man, 1 second, and he like, his neck is almost like kind of like turned like 45 degrees the wrong direction, and he like snaps his neck like back into place with like a loud pop, and you see him like stand up, right? And he like opens his like he's got like a button up like leather armor like made out of like leaves and stuff, and he opens it, and you can see like down the front of his chest there's like this long like snake creature that has like 9 eyes on it. And as he's looking at it, you see like the 5th eye on the snake, just like you watch as the tattoo of it like closes, leaving 4 eyes open.
So it looks like you just used one of your lives, huh?
Yeah, that's the long and the short of it. You don't get far down here without making a few compromises.
Well, thanks for all you did, man. That was awesome on that. What do you call that thing you were riding?
Oh, that's my hell bike. I don't really have a name for it. I kind of destroy them faster than I can name them, so I stopped trying to keep up.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, man. That was awesome. Teach me how to ride that thing.
Well, is the big guy gone? Did we do it?
Yeah, he's gone.
All right. And he looks and he sees like kind of on the distance, he sees like Asmodeus there, like having a conversation with Zeke, like walking away, and the chest and stuff. And his eye goes up, and he's like, you and your friends keep interesting allies, do you not?
you know, like you said, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. It's a rough place down here.
Morthos, right?
Correct. Smiler, right?
He reaches out and shakes your hand. He's like, let's go learn how to do a wheelie.
Yeah, man. Teach me how to ride this thing. It looks fun.
So the rest of you watch as like Morthos and like Smiler like get on the motorcycle together, and you watch as like Smiler like tears off. Who knows where they're going? Like doing a wheelie as Morthos is trying his hardest not to fall off the back of the bike.
That's cute.
You think?
I'm glad we don't have to spend the diamonds.
Think he's coming back?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna spend the diamonds.
It was in consideration. He was actually beneficial to the fight.
Especially
do you
a
really
punk
think-
song.
If we're
Who's
killing
driving?
more, would you say?
Yeah.
Smiler's driving. It might not be coming back.
that is a
Here's-
possibility, isn't it?
Here's the thing: if they crash, Morthos has some teleporting abilities. I'm sure he can teleport himself away in the event of, I don't know, Smiler going off a cliff or something.
I hope so. He'd have to let go of Smiler to make those motions to cast the spell, I imagine. He'll probably fall off before then.
Yeah, just for your reference, Morthos, like every time there's like any sort of like dangerous hill or something, instead of like avoiding it, like he goes out of his way to like swerve into it just to get like as much air as he can. Like everything is just everything he does is like basically like you're not sure if there's a method to his madness or if he's just completely insane, but he does have style. You can't deny that.
Now that you mention it, Hal, when he used one of his teleportation spells, he just spoke a word. He didn't move his hands at all, and he can take another person with him. So maybe he just saves them both when they go off a hill or a cliff.
Hal shrugs. I don't know much about it. I mean, I can do that one where you turn into mist and appear somewhere else.
Right? Yeah.
But I can't
So can
take
I.
anybody with me.
It doesn't take any movements with your hands. Do
But I
you do
can't take
movements with your
anybody
hands?
me.
Oh, that's true. Right. There's only a couple of them that allow that. So we need to talk about what we're going to do with this gold and what you're going to do with that bow and what we're doing next.
We're taking the gold.
Okay, that's decided. Are you going to use the bow, and what are we doing next?
Let me see it. And I would like to inspect it for any kind of language, runes, or markings or etchings.
Yes. So the bone itself is it's definitely made. It's forged from the bones of the bone brambles, the wood bones. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's basically that same material that those trees have with like the oozing. And as you touch it, you feel like it's warm to the touch, but it does have this like sort of like constant oozing of sap as you touch it, and you pull it away, and it's almost like a bit of like sticky blood that like kind of makes it a little like hard to like let go of. But give me an investigation check.
Oh no.
Did you intentionally call it the bone, or is that just a fun accident?
What do you mean?
Bow and bone. It's a bone.
It's a bone. Oh. Well, if we get to it, I'll tell you its name.
Avo slaps Hal with guidance.
Guidance. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's been like 3 months since I forgot I should take guidance.
Oh.
Nice.
You look over it. You definitely recognize the bone bramble wood. There's nothing of it on it that seems to be covered in runes of any sort. And the string of this thing looks very like it's very unique. But you recognize it as being made from the silk of a phase spider. But no runes seem to cover this thing whatsoever. It's just pure burnt bone bramble.
I'd like to notch an arrow and kind of fire it, and then see how far I can shoot it.
Okay. So you pull it back, and you notch an arrow, and as you put the arrow in and pull it back, you notice that like as you pull it back, a second arrow like almost appears on the bow as you pull it back. So you have your arrow you notched, and the second arrow just like summons itself right to the bow. And this, it looks to be like a sort of infernal iron tipped arrow. And like the second arrow there kind of like messes up your shot, and the shot goes kind of crazy. But it does seem to, when you like pull the string back, it seems to notch an arrow into itself.
Okay, interesting. I might use it, Marius.
It also, like, as you're holding it, it seems to like call to you, like it wants to make a connection with you. It wants to attune to you.
Okay, I'll just sling it over my shoulder.
Okay.
All
And-
right.
So Ava's over there counting the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much does she
She's-
count?
Yeah, she's gonna figure out how many each of us get, I assume.
Yeah.
Um,
There was 49,999 pieces of gold.
Lord.
All right, divided by the 5. That's
You're pretty like you get to the end, right? And you don't count 50,000, you count 49,999. Do you start from the beginning to see if you are miscounted by one?
Ava just sighs, rubs her temples, and I mean, it's all going to the group bank account, so. She just like stands up and just starts like, everyone count like 10,000 gold pieces and take it, I guess.
10,000.
Uh-huh.
Holy crap.
Can we just separate it into piles?
Can we
Do
keep
we
on
have to-
killing demons so your sugar daddy keeps on giving us stuff?
He's not my sugar daddy. It's not a good relationship.
all
So
right.
he's your sugar daddy.
That's not what I said. He just gave me this nice staff. I gave him something later that I won't have to give him. Am I leading him on?
Okay.
The other thing too, you notice like between the faces on the back, like a ninth of these coins still has like Zariel's face like carved on the back.
Nice.
Those are
Oh,
collector
okay,
items.
Their minting process is very behind.
Those
I
are
probably
wonder
worth
if they're only.
Okay.
I wonder if they're only spendable. And I pointed the faces on these guys' places.
Well, gold is gold.
This is true.
Yeah. Zariel's may be worth more than one gold piece now. Now
Yeah,
that
she's
she's
not-
gone.
That's a good point, Morthos. I mean, I don't know how you're speaking to us while also on a motorcycle, but it's a good point.
Oh, he didn't see Smiler? He came back.
Why is he yelling from that motorcycle all the way
Went right
over
over the top of you guys.
Man, we really need to get him to do perception checks. He's able to see the face of the coins from this far away.
Wow.
DC 30, right?
I was so stealthy you didn't even know Smiler came back.
He's got an electric motorcycle.
Yeah, you and Smiler were able to like kind of go out off into the distance, right? And then after like 30 minutes, and he actually did kind of show you the like how it works and stuff. He does want to take a break, and he like uses his hallucinatory, or what is it, hallucinatory terrain, I think it's called, something like that, to like basically create like a small piece of the Feywild here in Avernus. So just for just a second, Morthos, you are transported into a lush land full of like trees and crazy flowers, things you don't like. They're plants, but they're not ones you're familiar with. But it is a nice escape, even if it's illusionary, for just a moment from this place.
Yeah, very nice.
And you two can have a conversation about like your forest back home and the Feywild. And he says like he would love to take you to the Feywild. It'd be a lot of fun. But he's
Yeah,
kind
I'd
of
like
he's kind of stuck here for now.
Yeah, someday we'll go.
basically, he has some unfinished business that he must attend to. And once that's done, he intends to go right back to the Feywild.
Very nice. Well, once I'm done helping Hal get his father back, maybe the time will line up and we can both go.
I mean, we could just leave them, right? Like they're not doing much for your style, man. Like me and you could ride this thing into the sunset. Think of all the fun stuff we could do together. He inches a little closer to you.
Yeah, as great as that sounds, those guys helped me save my token, my unicorn. They're great people, and I've committed to helping Hal. So I keep my word. So we'll have to do it afterwards.
You know, for someone so in tune with nature, I can't believe that you are so apt to play by the rules.
Yeah. Follow my mother's footsteps.
Tell me about your mother. And he like stares into your eyes. And we fade away from this scene as Smiler is just like trying to talk to you, like as much trying to get he really wants to get you to go on this like, you know, suicide mission with him, basically. Yeah, he explains to you like, you know, he used to be the synopsis of his story is he used to be like a big deal like down here, and he came down with an adventuring party and they got trapped and he had to make a deal to like save his life, and he became a warlord here in Avernus, and it was you know, things are going well for a while, and then his crew like kind of turned on him, and all the warlords banded against him to kill him and killed all of his riders, and he's the only one that survived. So his ambition is to kind of make sure that every single warlord gets what's coming to them and kill all of them. The only one he's kind of on semi-good terms with is Mad Maggie. But, okay, you know, the rest of them, he needs to make sure that they get what they deserve. And that's what he's trying to talk you into doing with him. Like, let's go together. 2 is better than 1. We can take out the warlords, and I can finally be free of this wretched place.
Well, maybe you can stay with us and help us on our mission, and then, you know, who knows? Maybe we can help you.
He shakes his head and he says, "No, I think while it was fun our paths crossed, I don't think our paths go much further than this, Morthos."
Fair enough. Hopefully we'll run into each other again sometime.
And he's like looking away, and he nods, and then he looks and he makes like very like intense deep eye contact with you, and he says, "We should make the most of the short time we do have together." And that's a hard cut from that scene to you guys, like, you know, 9,999, 10,000 gold.
Hey guys, Morthos has been gone a while. Should I cast Sending and try to see where he is?
Well, sending would just allow you to talk with him. Do you mean scrying?
No, but like Sending and ask him where he is. If he's coming back soon, you know, like if he's going to be out a long time or...
That's probably a good call. We still haven't figured out what we're doing. We've been so busy counting gold.
Yeah, okay, I'll cast Sending and get him to come back.
All right, what do you say?
Morthos, hey Morthos, we have a lot of money and things. Come back when you can figure out where we're going.
Okay. And that, so right. In your head, while you're having this conversation with Smiler, you hear Zeke's head, like voice, echo in your head, and you can respond.
All right, I'll be right back there, Zeke. Just give me a few more minutes. We'll be heading back.
Okay, yeah, he'll just be a little longer.
And then, you as in addition to that, you catch a tail end of like Smiler's voice, and he's like, "No, Morthos, you got to hold it just like this," and that's all you get at the end.
Okay, they're going to be a little wild. We'll be back soon.
I mean, that's not how. Okay,
That's
sure.
not how sending
Oh,
works.
really?
but
That's where you.
That's where I cross the line in sending. Yeah, I mean, it's mental to mental communication. Okay.
Technically,
Sure.
actually, I'm pretty sure you have to. It's not mental. You actually have to say the words that get transmitted back. I think. I'm not 100% sure of that actually.
I mean, I leveled up and I don't technically have sending because this was just like a silly thing anyway. But
I believe the verbal component of the spell is the actual message you're sending. It also doesn't make sense. You can send a 25-word message, but it's supposed to get there and back in 6 seconds. That's kind of weird too.
I guess that's where we find how many words you can say during a 6-second round. 25 words.
It does say
well, 50 technically because they can respond.
The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as sender, and if can answer in a like mind or immediately. Yeah, I always interpreted it as you had to like mouth the words that get sent back, but I don't know now. It's interesting. So yeah, like
Interesting.
It is. You definitely wouldn't hear somebody talking near there.
Yeah. Or Tyler does a scrying spell and then he ends it immediately. No. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah. Morthos and Smiler are gone for probably the better part of 2 hours before they return, giving you guys ample time to, take a short rest, count your gold, possibly attune with the bow that you're holding, Hal.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. So I'm going to add a bow to your character sheet. 1 second. So now here's the interesting thing. As you attune to it, you do hear Asmodeus' voice like in your head just at the moment you attune. And it says,
"Ah, my warlord Hal. Congratulations on making the right choice. I didn't name this bow. I thought a warrior should give it its own name. So, come up with a good one."
And so the bow I'm adding to your character sheet is actually called Euron Hallandar Senior, right? Right, Rick?
Oh no.
If you're
lost it.
if you're talking okay, yeah.
Yes. Gotta get close to the mic.
Okay. So the bow, I add it to your inventory. It's called To Be Named Longbow. So when you have come up with a name for it, you let me know and I'll update the item. So you get to come up with your own name since it is your longbow gifted from Asmodeus. And you can see the stats on there. Okay. And so, a couple of hours passes. You guys divvy up your treasure. I mean, there's 10,000 gold each, but one person gets 9,999. So I don't know who gets the short end of the stick.
Zeke will just get the short end of the stick because why not? It's all the money anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And at the end of like the 2 hours, like Smiler like pulls up to like the edge of the camp and drops you off, Morthos, and says, "Say bye to the others for me. I'm terrible at goodbyes," and just revs his like motorcycle and just tears off into the sunset.
All right.
I'm Morthos.
Hey guys.
Welcome
Smiler
back.
said to say bye. He's off
Okay.
to kill some more people. Tried to talk him into staying with us and helping us, but he has his own agenda.
That's a
She's
shame.
a good distraction.
But he did teach me how to ride that bike, man. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. He was a really good giant monkey.
It was. Grape ape.
Furious George. Okay, so here's 10,000 gold. He's gonna toss it at him.
Holy shit. That's a lot of gold.
I mean, 10,000 gold would weigh what, like 100 pounds? Is it 100 pounds? A little bit less?
A lot of
50
money.
pounds,
It's
or 50
200
coins
pounds.
per pound, right?
50 coins to a pound. Okay.
It's 200 pounds.
So we're all rendered immobile by greed.
I mean, you can load it into your war machine, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it in the war machine. We're gonna have
Yeah.
to.
That is quite a bit of gold. So that means the whole thing that they were carrying weighed like 1,000 pounds, not including the chest itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Strong devils.
Need
Yeah.
to find a bag of holdings.
Oh no.
Holding, not hold things. We
Hold things, yeah.
experience what that is like.
Ava has
Yeah.
one.
A bag of stuff.
She did.
I mean, what did you guys do with the bag of hold things you had?
We gave it to Mahadi, and then he gave us coupons for.
Yeah.
Oh, for Inferno after that. You never even redeemed.
Yeah, those are
No.
the coupons we have.
Yeah.
We were a little
Yeah.
busy by the falling city into Avernus.
Yeah, that whole thing. But that's done. You guys saved El Terrell.
Well, don't forget, we had to sign a contract even with the tickets, and that's when we said nope.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, we did have to sign into the guest book. That really spooked us.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder why. So, yeah, I mean, this sort of like segment wraps up, and like I guess the thing I would ask you guys is, what's next? Where are you going?
Do you guys want to go back to Mordenkainen and what did the wizard dude get the tuning fork and go shopping in Candlekeep while we rest up?
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, actually.
So we need tuning fork to get to Candlekeep and one to get back, right? So we need
Yeah.
two.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the tuning fork isn't like consumed or anything, and we can probably get one for Avernus at Candlekeep.
If we can get Mordenkainen to give it to us, though, that would be better. If we could barter for like two of them instead of one.
Pretty sure it was we would get one for each.
Well,
At least that's how I looked at it. One
Yeah,
to
that's
get
what
back
I-
and one to get back.
That's what I had thought, but wasn't quite sure.
Well, we know Candlekeep has at least one because the otter brought us here.
I want to go talk to that otter asshole.
Yeah, and push comes to shove, we can just either pay and or force the otter to bring us back. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but like to get to the otter, because he didn't live at Candlekeep, he lived off-site. So you had to go to Candlekeep, get on the griffins that flew you to his tower that floated over the ocean, and then from there he'd plane shifted you here to Avernus.
yeah, we can
I
go say
should have
hi.
I should have harassed him while I still had sending.
I'm with Hal though. I do remember them saying we'd get a tuning fork for both places, so that way we're not worried. We know for sure we can get back.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go talk with him and
Yeah,
find
let's
out.
do it.
And I mean, we're gonna kill more of them, so maybe if we get a tuning fork to here that we don't need at the time, then when we kill the other ones, we can get tuning fork to other places and just
Okay.
get them early.
Yep. Good idea.
I'm sure he has a whole collection.
Yeah, so you guys are making your way. It sounds like you guys are, no matter what's going to happen, you guys are making your way back to the Tower of Erm,
Mm-hmm.
which is the name of the tower that Mordenkainen works out of here in Avernus. So yeah, so there's a bit of a drive back. I think as you guys kind of get back, it probably takes in the neighborhood of like 13 hours. Like leading up to like saving El Terrell and stuff, it felt like your times were getting shorter and things were just going your way, and now things are starting to kind of stretch back out, and they feel like they're starting to take a little longer than they did before. But you make it back. Actually, I guess I need somebody to roll. Let me just double check what the rules are here.
Who's driving?
Yeah, who's
Okay.
taking?
I
I'm driving.
was gonna say it's usually Ava or myself, so
Then
either one.
Ava should roll it.
Oh,
So you
Would it
need
be a short rest in the drive? Since I'm not driving.
a long rest even? Yeah, you get a short
A
rest
long
for
rest.
sure. You got a short rest with Smiler. Although I don't know how
Okay.
much resting you guys did, but you get a short rest.
Yeah. Maybe you didn't have a short rest for that first hour, but the second hour, that's when you rested.
All right.
So, if I was doing the driving, roll a 2d8 for me. Okay. Yeah. You make it back to Mordenkainen's Tower of without issue. You pull up,
Nice.
and you see the tower there kind of coming up out of the lake of blood. A bunch of the kind of like mercenaries camped outside waiting for jobs from Mordenkainen. And you've returned. Same thing as before. It's this long tower. There doesn't seem to be any way in other than a balcony about halfway up, like a few hundred feet up in the air.
So we fly up. No, I'm just kidding. We go to where the bridge is created.
Yeah, we learned our lesson last time. Let's not do that.
Yeah, you walk to the edge of the shore where the bridge was created last time. And what do you guys do or say?
I yell out, "Shall we pass?"
Shall we pass?
Yeah, to the tower.
And then within like a minute or so, like you see coming out on the balcony the familiar shape of like Bigby, the first wizard that kind of admitted you guys. And he speaks, and his voice is like super amplified so that everyone in the whole area can hear it. And he says, "Yes, do we have? Is there something we can help you with?"
We've come to turn in a job.
Ah. As you were, and he turns and walks in, and as he does, the bridge kind of unfurls from the bottom of the tower and reaches across the lake of blood, touching at your guys' feet, allowing you guys access to the tower.
I was making a reference, Tyler.
I know. Yeah, but it was a weirdly phrased reference.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
I only realized that after I did it as a question, and it sounded super weird.
Shall we pass? Part where the Balrog is like, "I shall pass." And
Yeah, and like there's no issue. Just like usual, you walk up the like kind of steps that admit you into this sort of chamber. The chamber looks to be like featureless. And as you guys enter, like the kind of bridge like collapses behind you and folds up, sealing you in here in this dimly lit, featureless room. And it's not too long before Big B like appears with like a pop, and he just says, "Oh, so were we successful in our mission? I do thank you guys for knocking this time. That was much appreciated. You've learned. You guys have come so far since we first met."
Didn't we meet yesterday?
It was a couple of days ago. It took a couple of days to get a lead on where the Yinogu was camped. I think it was like 2 or 3 days that you guys were waiting. Oh,
That's why we only have one day left.
He's like, "Oh, this won't do. Hang on." And he looks around and he like claps his hand, and around you guys, he makes the Elfsong Tavern from Baldur's Gate again. Tables, chairs, barkeeps, patrons. The whole thing fills, and it feels like the whole place comes to life. Although Marius, your true sight sees right through it.
I go to the table and I think of Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah, what was it? Ent?
I think
Yes,
I think I had to make an int check, right?
Let's see. I think I want a Sprite today.
That's a natural 18.
Not bad. Yeah, you guys are getting good at this thing. Yeah. And so he says, "So the job is done."
Mm-hmm.
Do
you need some type of proof? Yeah, and I have the flail under my arm in like a tarp or like a blanket, and I put it on the table and unwrap it and be like, I doubt he would let us walk away with this if he was alive.
That's quite impressive. You see him like eyeballing it, and he almost like licks his lips like subtly as his hands kind of start ringing a little bit. So that's his flail. He's like, his eyes are like wide and like almost like he's tuning you guys out, and his eyes are just focused right on that.
I move to hover in between the flail and him and say, "We had a deal, didn't we?"
He kind of snaps out of it slightly, and looks at you and says, "Oh, of course. Let me fetch the master. I'll be back." And his eyes like go back to it one last time, and he like teleports out of there, leaving you guys just in the room.
Did anyone else get the sense that he was like undressing that flail with his eyes?
Yeah, it was kind of dirty. I felt uncomfortable. That's why I had to break the eyesight, the line.
Appreciate that.
Wow.
Is anyone still super hurt? I'm looking around at the rest of the group.
Did we get a long rest on the way over?
You guys would have got a long rest because it was 13 hours of driving.
Okay.
Okay. Then no.
No, we're all good.
All right.
And it's not long before Mordenkainen himself teleports back. And he teleports back, and like Bigby's with him, right? And as he kind of comes close to you, you get the same thing, Marius, where you like look at them and you can see like through the illusion that they are, and they just look like featureless blobs of like ice.
Yep.
Friends, welcome back.
Romans, countrymen.
They take a seat like at the table kind of with you guys and look around just to make sure you guys all like, please get comfortable.
Dr. Pepper, I offer my cup.
No, I am good, thank you. So I can see, since you brought this here, you were successful in your ambitions. For what you guys lack in civility, you make up for in results. I'll give you that.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think he's calling us either stupid. No, because we actually got the results. So he's saying that we're so good that he doesn't care that we're stupid.
It's not really stupidity. Civility is more manners, and Ava and I have that because we were trained from a young age for it. But it's not really a necessary thing. Is this in reference to the whole flying into your force field thing? Like, what do you mean?
Well, there's that, and then there's the whole, getting involved in the fate of all existence and putting it in danger of eternal damnation, all for whatever you said. This Rhea. Do we ever figure out, is she like a hot 12-year-old? And Bigby's like, I don't know. They're very vague on the situation. And then Mordecai looks back and he says, "You guys realize she was 12, right?"
I thought she was 6. It doesn't matter. She was too young.
She was 16. She was 16.
It would be. There's no good answer here. Why did you start this thread of conversation?
Never mind. The point is, I will uphold my end of the bargain. You guys have clearly upheld yours. So I have, as requested, 2 tuning forks. One to the material plane, and he like summons like the tuning fork like to his hand, right? And you see the shiny sort of like tuning fork, which he places like on the table in front of him. And a second here back to Bator, and he pulls up a second tuning fork. It's kind of like darker material, but he doesn't put this one down in front of him. He kind of holds it. He like leans in on his elbow and kind of just like eyeballs you guys and says, "But before I give you this one, I'm just curious, who can tell me what they've learned in their time here?"
This place sucks.
I have learned that upholding the balance of the endless blood war is more important than personal ambitions. I sit back down.
Do you say it quite exactly like that?
Yes. If you want me to roll, I would be rolling deception.
Right. I mean, yeah, let's roll a deception. Let's roll a deception. Let's see if you can deceive Mordenkainen with that like monotone sort of thing.
Come on, Zeke. Oh.
Yes. as everyone expected.
And so it sounded exactly like that.
Yeah, it really did sound like exactly like that, right? All right. Let's give him an insight.
No.
Maybe
Thank
he
you.
rolls
Oh,
a natural one.
I don't think it's possible. Even a natural 1.
Oh
Oh
god.
God, he got a
Oh,
natural
yes.
20.
Amazing.
A 29.
Amazing.
Am I an illusion?
Yeah, he just shakes his head. Someone's echo. I'm hearing an echo on Discord.
Yeah, it's Mike.
Is it Mike?
Is it me again?
Yep.
All right, hang on. Kill
So
it.
you-
Come back.
Yeah, so you say that, Zeke, and he sighs, and you see him physically kind of recoil and put the tuning fork away, like kind of like tucks it back under his robes. And he says, I am glad to send you guys home, but I cannot give you guys the means to come back if you're just going to stir up more trouble.
No, we'll be
Come
fine.
back, and
Yeah.
we help you maintain the balance.
Yes, we will maintain the balance when we return.
But the problem is your version of maintaining the balance is killing everyone.
Not everyone.
To be fair, that's your version too. And I point towards whose flail.
Extreme circumstances calls for extreme measures, but I'd rather avoid the extreme circumstances to begin with.
Well, there's another extreme circumstance that must be balanced.
So what is that?
We have some contracts to void.
He looks like his face just sinks a little bit. He's like, and is that
Don't worry.
Is that really worth putting everyone at risk?
Yes. And we will make sure that the balance is maintained. In fact, we kind of talked about it, and we're going to take out another demon prince, demon general, whatever you want to call them. And then after that, we're going to take out Bell. And it will be balanced again.
I mean, if anything, voiding the contract will make it even more balanced.
Yeah, because pit fiend for a pit fiend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your answer to solving one power vacuum is to create a second one.
It's not. It's the same power vacuum. It's just we are removing the competition and allowing one person to neatly come into power and lead the Devil War without any infighting. In fact, it should make it so that way that person, whoever it is, whoever Tiamat chooses, I guess, because that's going to be the only one left standing, can just take control because there's no one else in the way.
He shakes his head and he's like visibly disappointed in you guys. And he says, maybe I haven't stressed my position enough, but this only works if they continue fighting. If you erase Bell, if you erase Baphomet, if they're off the board, then these devils and demons, they turn their attentions to the material plane.
No, but so there's no other generals besides the one demon one that's left.
Oh, there are plenty.
Okay, and then there's going to be Archon or his husband or Tiamat themselves to lead the devils, and they will lead the armies against the demons, and the demon generals who are still here will lead them against the devils. They're still going to be fighting.
He shakes his head and he like stands up, and you watch him like kind of like button his like robes a little bit, and he just says, look, I'm not gonna let you I'm not gonna give you the means to get back here. Obviously you can't be trusted, and obviously I can't stop you from coming back, but I'm not going to aid you.
I pick up the flail.
Yeah, he like flicks the tuning fork across the table, that like slides across the table if someone wants to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
And I pick up the flail.
He like sees you like kind of pick up the flail. What are you planning to do with that thing?
Well, I'm sure someone will be interested in it and give us something worthwhile in return.
Oh, I know exactly who's going to be interested in that.
Oh.
The person you
Pray
took
tell.
it from.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're gonna give it to somebody else and then not have to worry about them.
Make it their problem. Push more destruction and more chaos into somebody else's life, as long as it enriches yours. I see.
Greater good and all.
Before you go, is there? I feel like I at least owe you a last supper of sorts here in Avernus. Any requests? I realize that
Why
came.
do you call it
I
a
realize
last
I
supper?
realize that came across threatening. I assure you, I did not mean such intentions.
Can I roll insight on him to see how threatening he was trying to be with Last Supper in a
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he
you can make-
holding a Bible while he says this?
You can make an insight check. That's fine.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's really hard to get a read on this guy, but this is not the first time he's like vaguely threatened you guys, right?
You would roll a 2.
I love it.
It's amazing.
The problem is I don't. If I roll like a deception or if, because like
it tells your hand. We understand. Yep.
right, and I don't even entirely know. I'm not even sure. I'm sure if he's exactly threatening you guys, right? I got an idea of what he's saying. But like the one thing you do say is this is the second time he's vaguely threatened you guys, because last time he said something similar, which was like he is going to take you guys out of the equation,
Mm-hmm.
and then went on to clarify he meant just send you home.
We could just get food back in Candlekeep. It'll actually taste good as opposed to being an illusion or something here, right?
That's true. We can get a real Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
The stream
Hey,
brought to you by
Pepper, where you're
Dr.
from,
Pepper.
Morpheus?
By Dr. Pepper.
Personally,
No.
I prefer Pepsi. Zeke looks at the camera.
Well, no, there's a doctor who created it, so we're just gonna go.
Is he the Mad Mage, Dr. Pepper?
He's the Mad Doctor.
He kind of claps his hands a little bit, and a little side door opens, and in comes a waiter carrying like a tray of Pepsi and Dr. Pepper, and it walks over. But the interesting thing you know is like, despite the fact that they look human, this one seems to have like a tentacle arm, and like the tray is like held aloft on the tentacle so it doesn't slip. And they like come over to you guys and offer you like the tray of drinks. And Mordenkainen kind of like, gestures and says, some of the work we've been doing here, not bad, right? Combining humans and animals together into a singular entity, a new creation unto itself.
I was gonna look at
Yeah.
the servants. Did you consent to this? Did they tell you? Did they go through the bioethics? Did they brief you properly?
What about Bigby and Mordenkainen makes you think that they know what consent is?
They look at you and they look over like at Mordenkainen, and they look back at you and they nod and they say, oh yes, this is part of the apprenticeship.
Oh God, they're unpaid intern. Oh, no.
Wow. So do these count as like superior, greater potions?
These are just
Drinks?
Pepsis.
Pepsi.
You rolled an insight, Ava? Is that a lie?
I want to think you're being truthful.
Actually, from what you can tell is that they're not being untruthful. Like, they do seem to be in some sort of like, I guess an unpaid internship is probably the best way to describe it.
Oh, that's so manipulative.
Are they giving you like experience on your resume?
Well, and like they're really afraid of what to say because like Mordenkainen is like right here, like in the room, But they're like, yeah, we kind of push the bounds of like what's been done before here. So sometimes you need bold steps to.
We need
advance.
rock star employees willing to work long hours and be their own bosses.
At first I start as like a test subject, and then I can work my way up to like running the experiments, and before you know it, I'm a full-fledged wizard, and I gotta work my way up, right?
Okay, now this sounds like a cult.
Listen,
a pyramid scheme.
my friend was involved. He recruited me. All I had to do was
Yep.
recruit two
Yep.
of my friends.
There's
Told you.
one evil in the
Fuck.
world, and it is pyramid schemes. It just takes many forms.
And then
The
like
true evil.
they say I still need 2 referrals. Are you guys interested?
No.
I'm too stupid to be a wizard.
Can I?
Well, you don't need to be a
Can I-
wizard. We're just looking for subjects because, we can, and she does her like tentacle arms. We can like hybridize you with like all kinds of animals.
At all kinds of animals, Zeke's eyes glint. He asks,
Oh no.
"Do you know what a crab is?"
She looks across right at you, Zeke, and she goes, "Well, yeah, that's." One second. Let me fetch my friend. I'll be right back. And
Supervisor.
She
Oh my God.
she goes back like behind the curtain, right, and eventually comes out, and you can see like one of the people that comes out. He's a little bigger and buffer, but he clearly has like 2 claw like crab pinchers, and the back of him and like seems to be like literally like covered in some sort of hard carapace, and his eyes are like kind of out of his body, like on stalks that look around him. And she says, "Oh, you mean like Bradley here?"
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Bradley. I'm Zeke.
Yeah, we've had some really strong success in hybridizing humans and crabs. That's not too hard.
Are you jealous,
Okay,
Zeke?
guys,
Is that what you want to be, Zeke?
do me a favor.
You can literally already
Avernus.
Zeke, you can literally already turn into a giant crab. What are you doing?
But I'm not a crab. I'm just turning into a crab.
Yes,
With
but that's a good thing.
No, but I want to be a crab.
Why?
Can you even cast spells if you have like crab hands?
No, he can't.
You don't know
Even
that.
I know that.
Bradley, can you
She-
cast spells?
What she does is she goes, well look, and she because like he has like long sleeves with the crab pinchers, and Bradley like rolls up his sleeves, and you can see like underneath the giant crab
How
arms,
does he roll
there's
up
like
his sleeves,
slightly
Steve?
tiny like baby hand arms that are like out.
Oh, no.
It's like a second set of arms. Listen, casting spells is absolutely something that's important to us here. If you're interested, I can take you back, show you some literature. I can give you a tour of the lab. We show
Yeah,
you.
you give
it's-
like any pamphlets or any.
Oh, I don't have any pamphlets, but I'll give you a personal tour.
I really like that actually.
Mordenkainen's amused at the whole situation.
Well, there you go, Zeke. If we can't get you out of your contract, you know what you're going to do.
What do you mean if we can't get me out of my contract?
As a crab.
If we can't get you out of your contract, you can come back and be a crab.
Yeah, so she asks for, like, she says, if you're really interested, I'll take you on a tour right now. Your friends,
Yeah, I
your
mean-
friends will have to stay here, but you're more than welcome.
How
to
long is
join.
it going to take? Because I don't want that to hold them up for like hours.
Well, if you're just looking to get, the business pitch, I can probably get you back here in 30 minutes. But if you want to go through with it, and I know you want to go through with it, that might take a little bit longer.
I look back at the party, primarily Marius, because he's the responsible one, and I do my best puppy eyes. What should I roll for this? Persuasion? To not
what?
get in trouble?
To
Persuade
persuade
me?
Yeah, to persuade you to not be angry at me.
Oh my god.
You can go as long as you promise not to be turned into anything. Like, if you want to go look around, go for it. But, like, I'm not cool with you becoming a crab, man. And I don't know why you are.
I mean, they're just great.
Right. But you can change into one whenever you want. And then you can change back.
No, but I have to change back.
Hey, Mordenkainen, can we have that Avernus tuning fork now? Because it looks like you have a potential recruit.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you take Zeke and we'll take the tuning fork?
Oh, there you go.
Do I have? I mean, if I can be a crab, then yeah, you can. You're coming back for me, right, guys?
Sure.
Should
Should I roll deception?
Go for it. Roll it.
Absolutely. Let's get this.
I want to see your roll first.
There we
oh,
go.
you actually rolled well. I can't even beat that.
Can't beat that.
That's cocked. I rolled an 18. I don't.
Classic Zeke.
If you get changed into a crab, Marius is never coming back for you.
What?
You were already weird when we met.
We met at a bar. I wasn't old when we met. I wasn't weird.
You spoke infernal when we first met you. We almost killed you. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't, actually.
Clearly. Marius is like, why is this priest speaking infernal, and almost killed you?
I will remind you, Zeke, since you are legally still married to these people for a little longer, you are allowed to sign contracts for family members. So all you got to do is sign Marius and somebody else over to Asmodeus, and you're free of your contract.
No, that's too crazy.
So we looked over each other. No, he's not going back there with you guys. So come on, let's go.
Can I get a pamphlet? Can I at least?
Yeah, give him a pamphlet. We need to go back to the material plane.
To read during plane shift.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a pamphlet. It's literally like, they're like, the less people that know about these experiments, the better we're kind of off.
You said you had literature.
No, we don't have literature. That's why they were offering you the private tour.
Okay, I'll be back.
There's all kinds of good enhancements that they can do.
I know. Death glare at Marius.
Well, and Mordenkainen is like, well, if you're truly serious about this, we can take you back, and I can hold your friends here for a time.
That sounds
that
extreme. Wait, what do you say, Jordan?
His choice of words are always interesting.
Yes, they are.
Hold your friends here.
It's said very matter-of-factly and not in a threatening way, which almost makes it more threatening, right?
That's what scares me. No, I don't be mean to my friends. I'll be back later.
Okay. But will you? Because I must say, if you leave here and if you come back after this conversation we've had, I will not be very happy.
What if we're only coming back to make sure Zeke has a successful surgery?
Yeah,
well, then why not do it now before you leave? Why leave and come back?
About this, and we want to go shopping.
I'm gonna look at Zeke and remind him, as a hovering angel with silver eyes and gold radiant energy coming out of the irises, that we are going to Candlekeep, and if we show up with a human crab hybrid, they may not let you leave.
Says the angel man.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. He's becoming less of a cleric every day, so.
Why do I feel like I'm the child and there are two adults fighting over custody? When I clearly want to stay here and become a crab man.
Do you have another character rolled up, Tyler?
Oh my god, are you serious about this, Jordan?
You want to stay here and become a crab man?
I don't want to leave the party. I want to just while you guys are shopping, just become a crab guy.
And if you sign up 2 of your friends, Zeke.
No. Why do they all do this?
Yeah, well, I mean,
the
longer we leave you here, the more they cast suggestion on you, and eventually we're all signed up.
Hal's already left you guys, and he's on the ferry down the river Styx.
I guess if you want to stay here, and Hal, Hal, you didn't want to come to the material plane anyway.
Well, now that you can't get back, I'm certainly not going to go.
Oh, we can get back. They will have a tuning fork there, and we can convince the otter to bring us back.
Or Morthos can just learn how to tune a fork to whatever plane he wants to go to with enough research.
Yeah. We could always go back.
They do. They have a lot of books there, big library. So.
And I love the world where y'all are gone for a month because you can't get a fork, and Morthos has to learn how to tune it, and you finally come back.
I mean, we can go to the Wandering Emporium too, but if we show up without Asmodeus's poster boy, Mahadi might not be so willing to help us. But we could maybe buy a tuning fork at the post office.
I mean, it's an interesting point too. Is like Zeke is the one that sold his soul to Asmodeus, so he's the one that kind of has like some leeway here. And if you leave Zeke behind, then you don't really have that protection
anymore. Jinx. Yep.
Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me a Dr. Sprite.
The tentacle lady comes back with a Sprite.
Yeah. You should just come with us, Hal. That way we keep the group together.
We're coming back.
If we come back, it may take us a while to find you. So
I'll be at the docks, waiting for you.
You don't
If
want
we can't get back, I'm not gonna go.
Okay. Are you using your bow, or do you still need your old bow, the one that sings Elven?
Yes, it sings me to sleep.
You're gonna use both bows?
Yep,
I've never
I am.
seen an archer use two bows at the same time.
Amazing.
The last 20 minutes, I feel like we've just kind of slowly broken Jordan.
A little bit. So, like, as this scene starts wrapping up and we move into the next leg of our journey, which seems to be going back to Candlekeep, I guess the question is, first of all, is Hal really going to go to the docks and just wait for them?
Yes, 100%. If they can't have a guaranteed way back, I will absolutely not go.
That's the thing. That's why I want to go to the Wandering Emporium, see if we can find one there.
yeah, because if we can get one, then Hal will go with us. Which, there may be something in Candlekeep he can get. Plus,
Yeah, I
we keep
don't
the
wanna-
party together.
Yeah, I don't want to leave somebody behind.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, if I was being a
it's gonna
selfish... Go ahead.
If it's going to cost soul coins, we need to make sure that we have passage first.
I mean, we may not need soul coins. We got gold with the faces of all the different lords of the 9 hells on them. Maybe we can use that as currency.
Well, let's go there first and then go to the Wandering Emporium and book passage.
The only reason why I'm kind of against that, what if there's a tuning fork in the Candlekeep that just takes us, allows us to skip some levels? Then we don't need to book passage.
That's true.
Mordenkainen speaks up at this point. He says, well, that's not quite how it works. You see, each lair... There's nothing magically preventing you from going to any lair you want. However, without the blessing and allowance of the lord of that lair, then you won't be able to go straight to it. Avernus is a special case. It's kind of the catch-all.
Right.
However, if you have the blessing from the lord of that lair, then absolutely you could go wherever you want.
Are all the layers connected, like physically?
He nods and he says, yeah, they're each connected. They're each in infinite space, slightly less infinite as you go deeper.
Should we just go to the 9th layer and then just go up from there if we're going to the 8th?
Well,
Who controls the 9th layer?
Asmodeus.
And
Yeah.
who has his blessing? I look at
Yeah,
Zeke.
sorry.
Okay, so couldn't you
It'd be a
just
shame
ask
if there was some reason that, like I wanted to stay on Avernus.
Yeah, you're the only one who wants to stay here, apparently.
I don't want to stay. How long would this take?
Hal
Like,
literally
a
said he's
day?
staying here.
Yeah, but if we could go to 9th and then go up to 8th, that's a shorter journey.
I agree. I'm just.
Mordenkainen says, nobody goes to the 9th layer. It's kind of the unspoken rule around here. Because the closer you are to the 9th layer, the more danger Asmodeus puts himself in.
Oh.
Visitors are not typically welcomed, and the only known portal leads directly from Mephistopheles' palace, as his primary function is guarding the portal to Nessa. Nessa? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Hal, look, Zeke, if you want to stay here, stay here. Hal, would you at least be willing to come with us to the Wandering Emporium to find a tuning fork?
I mean, provided we stop on the way to the docks and book passage, that shouldn't be an issue.
There's no such thing as on the way. You know that.
Mhm.
Space is weird here.
Okay, so we go there first and then there second.
Go where first? The docks? And
The
then
docks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get our passage booked. Okay.
Didn't you already book passage for yourself?
Yes.
So you just want to get us sold. So what I'm getting from this, Hal, is you don't really trust any of us at our word. Because we all agreed to go with you, but you need us to go there and spend soul coins to buy a ticket to know that we're coming?
Well, everything down here costs soul coins, and if you spend all your soul coins at the Watering Emporium, you're not going to have any soul coins to book passage.
Yeah, but we were definitely not going to do that.
But everything costs soul coins, so why are you going there if you can't buy anything?
Because we just got other forms of... I take one of the coins that have the Lords of Hell's faces on them and say, is this accepted currency down here, or is it all just soul coins? Or is this just bullshit stuff that Asmodeus gave us?
I mean, devils are well known for collecting all sorts of treasure, but soul coins tend to be the main currency down here. But not the only currency. It's up to each individual merchant to decide what they will and won't accept.
Okay. Fine.
If it's soul coins you're interested in, I might be able to make some sort of trade for you guys.
Involving what?
Points at the flail. How about I buy that off of you guys?
How much?
I'd go as high as 10 soul coins.
Do you have anything for barter?
Why don't you just get a tuning fork?
Because I don't want you coming back here and making a mess in my backyard.
This isn't your backyard. You don't even
Yeah.
live here.
Thank you, Ava.
This isn't the Tower of Warden Canaan. This is the Tower of Urm.
It's best not to advertise my towers. Like, what kind of wizard names a tower after themselves? That just is baying to bring, people that have something to prove to your doorstep. Rest assured, this is my tower. So what you're saying is you'd be willing to trade that flail for a tuning fork back here?
I feel like that's underselling it.
Also a couple soul coins. Ask for a few soul coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That at least 4 that'll get us our passage, right? Hal's already bought one. We need 4 soul coins on top of that.
Make a counter offer and make a persuasion check.
All right. Warden Canaan. We'll give you the flail on the condition that...
Hold on, is this a legendary weapon, Steve? Are we trading a legendary weapon for a tuning fork and soul coins?
I mean, you're not sure. It's
a unique weapon.
You're not sure
this
because
has to be unique.
no one's attuned to it.
Because nobody trusts it.
I don't know. It seems pretty safe to me. It only did 80 damage to me in one round.
It's there's got to be something about it that is bad.
Oh, absolutely. I imagine he probably wants it half to keep it out of the hands of the demons and other people, and half to study it.
I feel like we're being undersold on how powerful this is because they were literally drooling earlier.
How about this?
And I don't trust Hal. I just don't trust Hal because he's willing to do anything to get us to come with him. So
Let's
I don't
go to the docks.
Okay.
And we will see if we can buy it with the coins.
Okay.
If we can't, we'll pay soul coins.
Okay.
Then we'll go to the Watering Emporium and see if they have a tuning fork.
Okay.
And if they don't, then we come back here.
All right. Morning, Canaan. Are you cool with that?
What, wasting more of my time sitting around and having you rebuke my offers?
Oh my goodness. We know how busy you are changing your unpaid interns into different kinds of creatures. You're the type of person that is never idle. So please don't condescend to me and act like you're just going to wait for us. We will be back. If we're not back, we'll send you a message. So that way you don't have to wait.
Rest assured I would not be left here twiddling my thumbs for your return. I've got very important things to attend to. Things I'm attending to at this very moment, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I know, because you're not really here.
But,
Okay.
But just know, if you leave here, the deal will not be so favorable the next time.
Okay.
Or at the very least, I get to experiment on that one. And he points at Zeke.
I mean, he's fucking willing, so that's not really a threat. Let's go.
Oh no! Don't turn me into a crab. That's
Don't
my
turn-
greatest fear.
Don't turn him into what he wants to be turned into.
Marius!
But
pretending like he still doesn't know.
Would you get to choose what you turned into, or would he? Is the question.
Yeah,
You go under.
To say that.
You go under. What do you come out as?
This is a very real fear you've introduced, and now I feel like you've given me a real world fear in this, with this extremely silly fantasy scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna come out as Jeremy the Third.
Oh God.
But you're gonna be half goat. You're gonna be a
No!
satyr.
Oh yeah, I should just make you a satyr.
Yep. So you have
Roll
to
on the
change your character
roll on the
sheet.
true resurrection table.
Nice.
With like one of them being crab.
1%.
Okay, so you guys are opting to leave here. You're taking everything with you. Your
Going to
tuning
the docks.
fork, your flail, all that. No, you're not selling it, and you're gonna go to the docks, right? Okay.
As far as I understand.
That is
Yes.
fine. As we go to do that, let's go to our break because it's almost 8 o'clock.
Alright.
So let's take a 15-minute break. It's 7:55 or so. We'll come back at like 8:10 as we go to figure out the next step. In how I do like the sort of like duality here where like Hal refuses to go home because he doesn't know he can come back, you know? And so it's kind of like throwing a wrench into things that I wasn't anticipating, which is interesting. But
I mean, he said this before, but he's doubling down on it.
yeah, push comes to shove, he doubled down on it, so I respect it. So yeah, let's take our break. We'll come back at like 8:10 and then continue on with the rest of our story. For those of you guys at home, stick with us. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back to Fisherman's. Oh God, what's the fishing show where they fish crabs out of the sea?
A deadliest
I don't
catch?
Deadliest Catch. All right, welcome back to Deadliest Catch Avernus edition. I am DM Steve with the alleged 5. We just had an interesting sort of scene with Morning Cannon where he wouldn't give over the tuning fork to the material plane because you guys were kind of not
Being
jiving
stupid.
with them, I guess.
We pee in his Avernus soup.
Yeah. And secondly, they tried to get Zeke to join a Simic hybrid pyramid scheme, which Zeke seems to really be down for.
Do we want to retroactively leave Zeke there?
I'm cool with that.
Do you want to stop, and as you guys are like going down the stairs to leave, like Zeke just kind of stops? So tell us, Zeke, how does this go down?
As we're leaving, Zeke is going to kind of just intentionally get further and further back in the line, like slow down. And then kind of, once he's at the end of the line, to kind of just turn, like, wait to see if anyone notices, and then just turn around, go back in?
I mean, highest passive perception has to be Ava notices first.
Oh yeah.
I got a
she'll
+1 to
notice something.
stealth.
Oh.
What was that?
No, she'll notice something, but she'll just kind of like raise an eyebrow, give Zeke a little nod.
There's our bargaining power. If Zeke changes, maybe we get all we want. We get the tuning fork after all.
Okay. So Zeke, you stay behind. You kind of make that small eye contact with Ava, who gives you like the slight nod, and you turn around and go back inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Mordenkainen's still there at the table, and he says, "I knew you had more sense than the rest of your group. Come, let's have a chat."
I don't really. I'm willingly being turned into a crab, but
Even better. And that's like the words that like come in as like the bridge closes like behind you, the door kind of closes, and it's at that point when you guys are all at the bottom that the rest of you notice that Zeke's not with you guys anymore.
Huh? What was that?
Nothing.
It's not good to lie to your spouse, you know.
We're coming back for him, right?
Yeah, we're gonna come back and get him. I want to see if, I mean, best case scenario, the top half of him changes and we don't have to hear him anymore.
That's not very nice to say about your spouse.
He's only technically my spouse for what, 7 more hours?
The honeymoon.
I mean,
phase is
Honeymoon's
almost
over. Yep.
I think that's true, though. You guys are about to run out of the power of love, right? If not already passed.
what's that, Ava?
I mean, we're still divinely bound in marriage, even after the 7 days. It just means that the honeymoon period's over.
I'll be interested to see if we're only bound in Avernus and nowhere else.
Bound in the eyes of Eldath.
Who our priest, if I'm judging this correctly, is becoming less a cleric day by day. So if he loses all of his power with Eldath, what happens to our bond?
I'm sure it's still, like, valid. And if not, then, we can just all get married again.
Oh, God. By that
Very
logic,
bad crap.
though, like, divorce can be handled just by killing the priest that married you?
Mm.
That's an interesting loophole there.
All
I don't know.
right.
Okay.
Well,
so yeah. So
here
you
we
guys
go.
are here at your
I've-
infernal machine.
Yep, I flipped the Emporium coin, and Saul and I follow it, and I assume everyone else gets up in their machine, and we all go.
So you're going to
We're going to the docks first.
Oh, right. The docks.
you get the coin, you flip it, it starts rolling, and then you got to stop and get it and pick it up and put it away.
Well, luckily it's slow, so I just fly over to it and pick it up. You're right. Sorry, Hal. Let's go.
So who's navigating to the docks?
I will definitely jump in the driver's seat
Okay.
just to make sure we're all going where we need to go.
Okay. Why don't you roll me 2d8?
Alrighty.
Okay.
11.
11. Okay. So you guys get in the vehicle, and Hal like starts driving, and the whole thing's like, yeah. It only takes you guys about 4 hours for this trip of the journey, and you arrive at that similar dock. So you see the sort of the big platform where like the giant what was it, the flying fortress of Zariel's had been docked before, and you see that the fortress is docked here at the dock, although it doesn't look like last time you were here it was like sucking souls up out of the sticks into like some sort of like intake tube at the bottom. This time it looks like just to be stationary and even not necessarily abandoned, but like it's definitely not active like it was last time you guys were here. And there's the very similar like blathsphere like up on the top of the cliff, like hanging just over it with the Amnesu that runs it. Like he kind of like sees you guys and waves and like is excited in case you've come back to help him with more experiments. But down at the bottom, you have a sort of wooden dock right on the edge of the sticks, along with like a large boat and the familiar boatsman there to guide you across the sticks. And just across the river, which is pretty wide here, it's like, almost like a mile wide, just on the other side of the river, you can see just a hint of Bell's Forge.
Let's go buy some tickets.
So you just go down right to the dock, to the devil, or not the devil, but the guy that runs the dock.
Maris shakes his head for a second and goes, "Shit, I'll probably have to buy a ticket for Sol."
Couldn't Soul just like fly next to us?
I mean,
Can't you just like call him back again?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I can dismiss him and then bring him. All right. Good point, Hal. Thank you. And Ava, I'm pretty sure they would consider that a loophole because then I could just fly next to you at the boat and not have to pay.
All right. I'll
That's
head
an
down.
interesting. I mean, it's an interesting loophole. You're more than welcome to try to check to test out, right?
Probably go super fast, knowing this place.
So are we
We
going to try
follow
to
Hal?
buy it with Zariel coins or the Asmodeus coins? Or
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Let's see if they take the other coins.
Yeah. So the boatsman sees you coming. He's standing there with his large flaming stick, pushed down into the river Styx, and as you approach, he just smiles and says, "Ah, Hallandar, have you come to take your journey?"
Not yet. We're going to book passage with the rest of my friends. We got to go pick up some. We got to go pick up something and then pick up brunch. I mean Zeke back at someplace else.
I do love crab legs.
Yeah. So he
You're gonna
like
dip right in.
Yeah, so he looks at you and his eyes kind of go up towards like Ava and Morthos and Marius. And he says, 3 more for your journey.
It would be
Plus 1.
4.
4 more.
Do you happen to take anything but soul coins? And I kind of toss him a Zariel coin.
You like toss a Zariel coin and like he doesn't even like move and it just like hits him and falls into the boat like cling, cling, cling. And he just looks right back at you and just the slowest of shakes in his head. Like, I have no need for such mortal possessions. You know my price.
I hand him a soul coin.
I have 2. I'm gonna hand him 1 for Zeke.
Okay.
I hand him 1.
Ava hands him one.
Okay.
And we'll be back.
He's like, "Are you
Do we
sure we could go? You guys ready now? We could go."
We have business to take care of. Do you give us a receipt or like a ticket or you just remember?
Oh, your soul has been marked. It is okay.
Oh, I don't like the way that sounds, but okay.
Marked for passage.
Yeah, he looks up and he like looks at the river and he's like, "It's good travel time right now. Things are relatively peaceful for the moment. But if you
We'll be
want
back.
to wait, you know where to find me."
Mm-hmm.
And his like long, like bony fingers like wrap around the soul coins and he tucks it into the little pouch he has on the side. You hear it like fall down there and clank against the other soul coins he has. That's it.
All right. Well, let's.
Smash cut back to Zeke like at the laboratory. And so the tentacle girl is like giving you the tour and she's like, "And see, we do like manta ray gliders here, crab and other shell appendages here. You can go with the claws. That's always a classic. Who doesn't want to like choke your enemies, right?"
I see.
Oh, I do need like you are a referral. This is one of my referrals, so thank you for that. But I do need you to sign like a waiver saying that we're not responsible for any side effects that may occur from such. It's fairly form letter. She hands you like a small like written contract in common.
I want to read this contract pretty carefully. I think.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Oh boy.
Natural 1. You're so enamored with the thought of like the words like crab appendages and like things like they're in there. That's all you can focus on. I think you have like no idea like what the contract says other than what she tells you it says, and you look at what it says and it seems to match up. You know, like they're not responsible for any sort of mishaps that may occur, but it does go on to say that like, you know, they're very rare. Like they're just not responsible in case like unforeseen circumstances happen.
Okay. Yeah, this seems good. Okay, I'll sign this. And oh god, you might screw me over for this, but I'll sign the waiver.
Okay, you sign the waiver. It's not like a devil contract. It's not an infernal contract bound by like, you know, the will of Asmodeus. But you definitely sign
No
away
more
like,
obsidian
your rights.
pillars out of the ground.
Nope, not this time. Like it's just a pin on the quill on the thing. The one thing like she does say, okay, and so you are now responsible for referring 2 of your friends.
What?
Or
yeah.
what?
Well, it's going to be in the contract.
I mean, or if you would rather buy your way out of the contract, that is always an option too. But it's much easier to just refer your friends. Let's go through with the process, and when you're very happy with the results, you'll be like dying to get your friends to come in here. It's great. Come with me. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, and then the tentacle goes longer and wraps around, and she kind of guides you towards like the surgery room. And you see like in the room there are tanks with like different sorts of like animals in water. There's like an octopus in one side. There's a couple of crabs in another. There's like manta rays and like squid. There's all manners of animals around you, and she's kind of like, what tickles your fancy, dear?
Do you have any crustacean, crab-like?
Of course. You're looking for a shell, some gills, eyes on stalks. Like, what's your ideal self? Let us help you realize your ideal self. The Zeke that's inside there, and she like touches your like chest, like the Zeke that's dying to come out. Help us realize that, Zeke.
I think shells, certainly a shell, and eye stalks. I do think Jeremy's eye stalks are really cute. It might be weird since I'm so tall, but I think it's worth a shot.
Okay. And so she kind of like places you like in a chair. And, like, she says, just relax. This will be over before you know it. And then you hear, like, the click as your arm gets, like, clicked into, like, this operating table. And in walks, like, Mordenkainen, flanked by, like, a bunch of students in lab coats and clipboards. And he's, like, rubbing his hands. He's like, oh, Zeke, let's have fun. And he, like, hits you with, like, a super powerful sleep spell that knocks you out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And at this point, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
I'm kind of good at that. Okay.
19?
Nice.
Yeah. So the wisdom saving throw was to see like how in shock your body might be to rejecting the changes, but it seems like you are fine, so you're not going to suffer like any sort of long-term madness from this. So at this point, Zeke, feel free to to change your character's race to Simic Hybrid. And
okay, that'll probably take me a half hour to mess with D&D Beyond, but I will do that.
Yep, and then take some time to think about what the new Zeke looks like, and then you can describe it when we next see you on screen.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Look, it was the most Zeke thing to roll a natural 1. To not
I can't even be mad.
Yeah, just be like, wait, what do you mean buy myself out of the contract? Like, that was such a great moment. But also, then to roll, a natural 9 to not suffer permanent madness. Like, that's good too.
Yep.
Zeke is now in 2 contracts.
But one's for your soul and one's just, a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I don't actually know what the downside of this contract is yet. I had like 3 seconds after I said, what do you mean this consequences?
Right.
There's
Okay.
consequences to my decisions. And then asleep.
We'll deal with them
Impossible.
later.
So good. So
That's for
good.
future Zeke to worry about.
I
And there
don't
is
know
no
that
future
Zeke.
Zeke.
He
Yeah.
can handle it.
Okay, so we cut from
So
that
good.
back to you guys, and so you guys are going towards Wandering Emporium now. I take it.
Yep. Flip the coin, and we travel.
Okay, so you follow the coin for a while, and as you arrive, you do come to. Let me see. Wait, did I put it in here? I did put this somewhere. One second, I gotta look something up.
He already wrote out, what if the group shows up without Zeke?
As soon as he was like, I'm maybe not tempted with crab, he's like, okay, this is definitely what's going to happen. I only need to write one encounter here.
No, that's fine. I was gonna see if I could find like a song. I should play the Mahadi Wandering Emporium song, but it's a little rough around the edges. But it's funny. Okay. Chapter 3, other locations. Wandering Emporium. Okay. So I can't remember where I wrote this, so damn it. Where is it? This is the problem with like not having everything laid out nice in Roll20 for me in the module. Now I don't remember where I write things.
You gotta make new handouts for yourself.
I know, I really do.
Don't,
I started
don't leave them in the old
to
stuff.
for like Stygia, but not so much for the Avernus stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you arrive at the Wandering Emporium, right? A collection of brightly colored tents stands clustered together, creating an oasis of comfort amid the dread landscape of Avernus, same as before. The giant warmfiends create a ring. There's a giant sign across the top that says, Mahadi's Wandering Emporium. But as you arrive, you can see the name Mahadi is like almost like scratched out, and there's a plate hung over the top with a new name over the top, and it says Uru's Wandering Emporium.
Oh shit. Do we recognize that name, Uru?
I don't think so. Not
Yeah, I
intentionally.
don't think we've encountered an Uru.
Yep. So you guys park your war machine here outside of. Like you go to you're like, oh, Zeke, do the club, but then Zeke's not there. Zeke's always the one putting the club on. What was it, the Guardian Spirit?
We'll just leave Saul. Saul, please watch the car.
Yeah, and no one's messed with you guys so far. But
Remember, guys, no magic.
Yeah.
Oh, good
yeah.
point. Good point.
it's a good reminder going in here. Yeah, so you walk into the Wandering Emporium, and then the sounds of the bazaars and the smells like wafting through the air, and the hustle and bustle of trade, and a blonde man with like a blonde like goatee, big ol' like pointy mustache says, welcome friends to Uru's Wandering Emporium, and he like does like a deep bow. May I be of assistance? What are we looking for? A little bit of fun, wink wink, nudge nudge.
What happened to Mahadi?
First- Yeah, and what are the new do's and don'ts?
Well, first of all, the rules are still the same, and he points at the sign, and the signs are still there, and it says, no fighting, no spell casting, no exceptions. And he says, Mahadi, unfortunately, fortunately for me, has gotten a promotion and moved on to bigger and better things. And I'm Uru. I've been put here in his place.
When did he get promoted to?
Apparently it was very secretive. Asmodeus didn't want us, normal people, as he called it, to know. But he showed up a few days ago and said he really needed him elsewhere.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. So I assume you're friends of Mahadi's?
Yeah, and Marius isn't really caring about any of this. He just pulls out the coupon that we got and says, "Is this still valid?"
1 day of services at Infernal Rapture? Sure. I can escort you there if you wish.
No, we know where it is. What's the soul coin value of this, and is it available for resale, or is that frowned upon?
It is. We don't trade, but I legally we are required to say that it's worth 1/1000th of a soul coin. It's written right at the bottom in fine print, right there, and he points to it. However,
1/1000th? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, 1/1000th of a soul coin.
Then why does it cost 1 soul coin to get in there, but the coupon is?
It's a coupon, Marius. Just don't question it.
Okay, I'm not a coupon person.
A coupon's not. You don't put the same value on a coupon as you would put on the service itself, because then the coupon would be irrelevant. But legally, we're required to give some value to the coupon, so we set it at 1/1000th of a soul coin. You are. It does say. Is there anything on it that says non-transferable?
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Oh well, you should always read the fine print.
Is there anywhere in the Emporium that sells tuning forks for this plane?
There's no dedicated shop, but I'm sure if you look at the random assortment of knickknacks, somebody will have something you need.
There we go.
I head to the poisoner shop to give an update on his magical creation.
Okay. And that shop was named
That's the post office.
the Crimson Torment.
Oh, different. Okay.
That was the
Should
one
we
where,
go to the?
Yeah.
Avernus
That was the one
and
where
back, or?
That's the one where Howl's
Oh.
buddy was, right? The poisoner was Crimson Torment.
Right. Man, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Howl goes for there, and you guys are looking for a tuning fork.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So Howl, you go to the Crimson Torment. You open the door. The same sort of like plants and foliage and like little shelves of plants all around. And Quinran is like behind the counter, and yeah, he's got dark hair, piercing green eyes, and he sees you, and he gives like an eyebrow up, and he says, "Oh, I wasn't sure we'd be crossing paths again. I thought you were headed down."
I told you I would come back and let you know how your invention or chemical mixture worked.
Oh, did you get a chance to use it? He like folds like the paper he's reading and like sits forward.
Yes, I did use it, and it saved my life, to be honest.
Hot damn! He like clasps his hand together, like really excitedly. Tell me everything. Tell me everything.
And so I go through the description of how it worked and what it did to the creatures, and as I shot them, they looked at it, kind of scoffed at it at first, and then it started to burn away their skin, and where it burned away, it left like a foul wound that was seeping blackish, whatever they use for blood.
Right.
Do you have more?
Unfortunately, that was sort of a prototype.
Can you tell me how to make it?
He does nod. He says, "I can definitely do that." And he goes through and he most of the stuff is like a pretty normal mixture of like different. It kind of uses like a normal poison as a base, but the key ingredient, he says, there's one thing that's very hard to get a hold of, and that is called the desert rose.
Desert rose.
The desert rose. It's a very, very rare flower that, as far as I know, only grows in the midnight desert.
Okay. I'm proficient with Poisoner's Kit, so
Okay.
imagine I'm following along.
Yeah. So he basically describes you do this sort of mixture, and then you add in the desert rose, and it enhances it in a way that seems to break through the devil's immunity to poisons. getting a hold of it is a bit of an issue. And basically, he says, like, if you wanted him to try to acquire some, it would definitely take time, but also it would cost like 2,000 gold just for him to produce one of these poisons for you, like you did before. But if you can get your hands on the desert rose yourself, then you know how to make it now.
Okay. Any word? Anything going on that we should be aware of? Who's this new guy out front?
Uru. Yeah, I don't know. He kind of looks around and he like whispers. He says, like, I think this has something to do with the deal your buddy made. From word on the street is Mahadi had to go be put into protective custody because Asmodeus didn't trust you guys coming around and offing him and breaking your buddy out of his contract.
I'm familiar with the Uwu, but not the Uru.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I was a betting man, and I always am, probably took Mahadi somewhere extremely safe, like, say, Nessus? Somewhere where you couldn't get your hands on him.
So you're telling me that if we just offed Mahadi, then Zeke would have been good to go?
Well, that's how contracts work. If the person is killed, all their contracts are destroyed.
Okay.
Although, killing somebody like Mahadi has small ramifications, but killing somebody higher in the food chain, well, those ripples can be felt for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Say, how's Zariel doing?
She's feeling pretty ascended, pretty bright, pretty shiny. She's feeling radiant this morning.
I heard there's rumors that it was you.
It wasn't really me. It was, well, probably wouldn't recognize my friend now. He did it. Well, they did it. The dead lady and the angel.
Right. So, you getting soft on me, Hal? It's not like you to get so easily distracted.
Got a lot on my mind. Just need to get to where we need to get to. And found myself waiting. But it's been worth it.
You really trust these people?
Yeah, they've come to my aid many, many times. One time I nearly died, and the tall guy came and helped me out. Well, saved me, really. I'm used to working alone, but it's Curly, and we're going to need as much help as we can get. So are you sure you don't have any more of that poison?
I know it's good stuff. I just hadn't had a chance to field test it, but at least now that I know it works, we can begin the process of mass producing.
Do you have any other like franchises on the lower levels?
We have contacts that have been laid out in your reading information. Surely you perused it, right?
Yes, I looked through it. I'm used to getting my information visually, so.
Yeah. Well, I got the Desert Rose from our contact on Stygia.
Okay, good to know. And you said Midnight Desert. Is that on Avernus or somewhere else?
He shakes his head. He says, "No, that's on Stygia. It's sort of a divine realm of some crazy god or another. I think this one, they call him Set."
Okay, I'm ready.
So if you're heading down that way, you might as well. Oh God, I just got it.
That was a good joke.
I just got it. Yeah. But if you're planning on heading down there, then you could always check in with our contact. And I did. Let's see. Hang on. your contact. If you look through like your documentation and stuff, your contact is a bright red-haired elvish man who runs a shop called the Red Kite in Stygia in a city called Tamplin. That's supposed to be your contact. When you get to Stygia, you make contact with him, and he will basically have your information on how to get to where you need to go next. I know we never really role-played you reading through it. You always said, yeah, we'll do it later. But that's the
Much
outline
later.
that he... Yeah, so that's the outline that he, like, says to you.
All right. Very good. Wish me luck, or us luck, or yep. Thanks.
He gives you that, like, your secret handshake, the forearm on forearm with the... I don't know what you guys do, but you probably have some sort of secret handshake.
And you put your finger out straight, and then you like rub it against his inner forearm.
Interesting. Like weird. You're a weird lot in the Silent Rain. So yeah. Yep. So he sends you with your well wishes, and the rest of you guys are scouring the. You come out of the shop and you can see that the rest of the alleged 5 or the alleged 3 right now. The alleged 5. You find them like haggling. There's like a table with like an old grizzled looking human, and he has like a bunch of like knickknacks that he like is selling, and he says he does have a tuning fork tuned to Bator, and he's currently asking for 300 gold for it.
Does he accept the gold that has, the people's faces on it?
Oh yeah, he takes one from you and he like bites it and he looks at it, and he is more than happy to take that gold.
Great. Is anyone good at magic? Like, are we just being sold a fake tuning fork? Like, how does this work? I've been thinking about that the whole drive over.
We can't
Okay.
really do anything or test anything in here.
I know we can't test it here, but I mean,
Yeah, how do we know it's real?
yeah.
Yeah, can we get this certified?
He says, what, my word's not good enough for you? If I say this is a tuning fork to Bator, it's a tuning fork to Bator. If one of you want to give me like an insight check or something,
Yep.
I'll do it.
we can give like, yeah, Marius and
Me
Ava can
too.
both do it.
Ooh.
If I'm not mistaken, is this one of those things you have advantage on, Marius?
Not without the sword.
God.
Is that's tied to the sword?
Yep. While it's in my possession.
Got it. Okay, because I know some of the features is tied to the sword, and some of it was tied to your transformation. Okay. This guy, to the best of your ability, it doesn't look like he thinks he's pulling one over on you. As far as he knows, this is absolutely 100% tuned to Bator.
Okay.
And you look at it, and it seems to be carved in this like sort of infernal iron that's very similar to stuff you've seen around here. It has like etchings, and it's like kind of like there's actually like 9 different levels, and it looks like there's like 9 runes, one per like section of the tuning fork. And like right now at the top, like the 2 runes at the top have like a very faint glow coming through them.
Interesting. So Bator is the level we're on right now. Is that what I'm getting?
The torch the entire plane.
Okay.
Yeah, Bator's the whole plane, and Avernus is the first layer of Bator.
Okay.
So do we have a deal?
Cool. Sure. It's coming out of party gold, right?
Yeah.
Somebody goes back to the vehicle and opens it and gets you guys have 50,000 gold coins just sloshing around the back of the vehicle.
We put the chest in there.
Yeah, you took the whole chest.
Why not?
It's true.
That was the gift. We took it all.
Yep. So
We took the servants who were carrying it too. We're dragging them behind the vehicle.
They're following you guys. So yeah, if you want to take 300 gold out of that, you guys now are in possession of a tuning fork that presumably is tuned to here.
I know we split it up. I'll just take it out of my portion.
Actually, while we're here, do you have tuning forks for the other layers, or just this one?
He like fumbles around. He's like, "Wait, I got something for you," and he like digs through, and he pulls
Nice.
it out, and he's like, "I have this tuning fork. Problem is, I don't know where it goes.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I can't. This one doesn't come with a guarantee. I just know it's probably tuned somewhere."
It's tuned somewhere. I don't know about that one.
How much will it give it to us for?
Since we don't know where this one is, half price. No. If you guys get hurt, it's not my fault.
Take it.
Yeah, we'll buy it.
Perfect. Puts down the mystery tuning fork.
Is there anything else in this shop that looks good to us? Have we even been in here before? I don't think we have.
It's not like an actual shop. It's just like a table, like in the bazaar. There's just tables with all kinds of knickknacks around.
Ah.
It's like anything we need to advance the story, it's here.
Is there a +2 shield sitting on one of these tables? I'm just kidding.
There was a guy that made +2 shields over there, but they skipped town.
Oh, bummer.
They're
Bummer.
not
Was it the
picking
salamanders?
It was. They nod and they said, "Yeah, he finally was able to pay off his indenture servitude, and they skipped town."
Probably turned in the tack that we gave them.
Let's see, what was their deal? Yeah, so they were indentured servitudes to Mahadi, and with Mahadi like leaving, he offered them a chance to buy out their like the rest of their servitude, and they took it, and so he freed them from his service. So now there's right now there's like nobody here that actually is crafting any sort of metal stuff at the moment.
Okay.
But there's
I mean,
plenty of
this seems
scavenge
good.
stuff, right? There's like bits and like old swords and old shields and stuff all in this bazaar that you could find, but like getting something custom made here, probably not at the moment. He said, "Oh, if you were looking, I mean, Bell's still taking commissions," and he points like off in the distance.
Yeah, we know. I'm gonna look back at the group. All right, so here's the thing. From what you said, Morthos, we're not exactly sure where we're gonna end up with this. So, do we want to leave our vehicle at Bell's, which we know we're going back to, or do we want to leave it at the dock because aren't we taking it with us, or no? Are we leaving that here? How is this working?
I don't know. That's a question to how do we get to take our car with us?
I think back in my head, and it looks like just a boat that holds a few people. I don't think so. It didn't look like there was room for it.
Okay, so we may want to put this somewhere or leave it with someone we trust, but who do we trust?
We can ask Maggie if she still trusts us.
Ooh, that's interesting. Do we want to go pick up?
Maybe we can ask them if they have a larger ferry where you just drive onto it and then it takes you and drops you off and you just drive off.
That would be nice.
That would be better.
Yeah, I think that you guys think back, and they're like a lot of these rafts are like the one you guys like book pouch of this guy. It's just like a singular thing, but there are bigger rafts that can literally move war machines and move armies up and down the river Styx. Like it's kind of one of the jobs they do here. So there is ways to absolutely get your war machine, to go down with you guys if you would like.
Yeah, if we can bring it, we definitely want to.
But we already brought tickets on the smaller boat.
Maybe he has a referral to a larger boat and they're like, make this journey regularly.
Yeah.
Or we
We're gonna need some more soul coins. Are you gonna try to sell that staff
Maybe we what staff?
or whatever? What is that we have?
From who?
Use Flail?
Oh, it's a flail.
Flail. Thank you.
Yep. I was thinking in Candlekeep, but
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
yeah, they're gonna want it for sure. Everyone is drooling over this thing, so Candlekeep allowed us to barter for pretty great stuff before when we had even lesser stuff. So coming back now with these objects are going to be a big boon to us. And they have the connections to get us stuff. So
All right. Well, do we want to head to the docks and see what we can do about booking a bigger ship.
That's a good idea. I mean, I know in Baldur's Gate, if you're going somewhere over land, you can actually pay like a merchant ship to, like if you have a carriage or something, they will put it in there, and then when you arrive, it'll be waiting for you. So maybe we can just pay to have it shipped to the next level, and we can meet it there rather than changing our arrangements. I look at Ava. It would be interesting to go say hi to Mad Maggie, but we actually have no idea if she's pissed we killed her sister or not.
Well, maybe she was a rival, and also, she was a Zariel fangirl.
Yes, who we ascended.
Yeah, we might want to stay away from her.
But we do have to go pick up our crab boy.
Oh, yeah.
Or do we?
We're not leaving Zeke behind.
Yeah, what if he picked a new name because he's not Zeke anymore?
Ooh. I'm interested to find out that myself.
Yeah, it's gonna be crusty.
Yeah.
Call him Butter.
But
Melt for short.
You could, theoretically, right, if he has the crab appendage, you could break it off, cook it, eat a nice crab leg or crab
Steve?
arm, and then just cast regeneration so it grows back.
Steve?
Get him a ring of regeneration, and then we just
Yeah.
have food forever.
There's your food source.
yes.
I mean, it's a useful ring because the specific way of getting out of the Mahadi contract is dismembering my own hand.
It's true.
So we could test it out, I guess, if you guys wanted to get one.
Well, we're gonna find out. Or are we leaving him here while we go to? 'Cause, I mean, they never even told us how long it's gonna take. What if it takes like a week? So we should just go to Candlekeep. We don't know. So maybe the docks are a good idea. But do we want to pick him up first? Does anybody have sending, or was that just him?
That's just him.
Cool.
He could surely use sending to contact you guys.
I'm like a level 3 cleric.
Yeah, poor Zeke's like, oh god, I don't have it anymore.
I literally don't have it twice over today.
Well, I mean, if we wait a day for me to prepare my spells again, I can probably cast sending.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are we going?
I mean, yeah, you guys kind of tell me what the plan is, right? I
go to the docks.
You want to go to the
and see if we can
docks?
get our chips. And then go see what's Zeke.
See if we can ship the car.
You want to ship the car ahead of time so it's waiting for you on Stygia?
Maybe wait, because we could go pick up Zeke if he's ready, and then come back, drop the car off with whatever shipping barge we find, hopefully, and then that's when we do the plane shift. Because
good idea.
Okay. So back to the Tower of Erm.
Well, dock first.
Dock first. Okay, so you go to the dock.
Because this trip might take long enough.
Someone roll me 2D. Whoever's driving, roll me 2D8.
I'm good.
6. Okay. You make it to the docks without much issue, and the dock master is like, "You ready to go?" He extends his bony finger and does the come hither and says, "Come on my ship. Let's go. Come with me, and you'll see."
Hal, please talk to Gene Wilder and ask if
world of pure imagination.
Ask if there's a way to ship our war machine.
We got a Infernal War Machine, the deluxe version. It's triple wide. We need to get it shipped to where we're going.
Marius is in the air floating, and he's pointing at the war machine for reference.
Yeah.
You offer those services.
We can
can
ferry it along with you.
Okay.
But we are not a delivery service.
Okay. How much also,
I'm not sure how much use it'll do you down in Stygia. But you're welcome to try.
Oh, what is Stygia like?
Wet.
Oh, right, that's the water one. He's like, Marius is like, oh yeah, I didn't really pay much attention during Paladin training. That's the water one.
The entire plane is mostly water with floating ice flows and glaciers that shift constantly.
Cold, warm clothes, Candlekeep. Got it. Well, do you want to sell it? Do you want to try to take it?
That's a good point.
Here? For storage?
Yeah, is there anywhere to store it?
You're asking the wrong guy. You could
Well,
always try
we
the
know-
Wandering Emporium.
Oh, oh.
Fucking bebopping around this town.
There's plenty of, warlords in the area that would be interested in taking it off your hands, I'm sure.
What about your dock boss friend?
Oh, you mean that crazy guy? And he points up at the machine. He's not my boss. But you could check with him.
Ava
It-
looks
Yeah.
he brings to the party.
His name was Basilstein, right? Yeah, Basilstein. Is that who you were talking about? The horned devil that was up on the cliff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He fixed it up for you, didn't he?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll buy it.
So let's go get Zeke, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
Kick the can down the road.
Yeah, we're driving around some more, so give me another 2d8 roll. I really want you guys to end up somewhere wrong.
Oh.
You guys are getting too good at this. Okay, so you careen across like Avernus, and the whole place just is bearing down on you. Everything is like taking seemingly like 3 times as long as it feels like it's been taking you guys for like a while, and you are driving like for basically almost 24 hours straight, not sure if you're actually making any progress before you finally show up correctly at the Tower of Erm.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, guys.
And right as you're pulling up, it's like, your vehicle like kind of runs out of gas.
We might just be leaving it here. Do we want to even waste a soul coin? Like maybe we just plane shift away and no one touches the vehicle because it's on Mordenkainen's doorstep?
Yeah, good place to keep it.
Possible.
Maybe he has storage.
Oh, he hates us. So let's find out.
So inside the tower, right? Like Zeke, like we cut to like a completely black screen, like there's nothing, and we get that kind of shot of like the 2 eyes opening and everything's a little blurry, and we can see like somebody's unwrapping bandages around your face, Zeke. And then they say, "What do you think?" And they hold up a little hand mirror, and for the first time, we see a reflection of Zeke's face. Why don't you describe to us what the new Zeke looks like?
So Zeke's face is weirdly enough, his face is more or less intact, especially his beard. But as it kind of like gets to the edge of his head and then to his shoulders and down, he cleanly becomes a like shelled red crab creature. His shoulders are much broader now, but like almost like comically so, like not necessarily strong, just like because he has that carapace around his upper body.
Okay.
Then he has his eyes. He has his eyes on his face. He also has small stalks coming out of the top of his head that look like they might be eyes, but maybe not like the primary ways to actually see things. And then right around the like his midsection, he almost starts to like the crab traits go kind of recede around there. And you can see, because he doesn't have a cloak or anything on, he does have these kind of, they look ethereal, not in like the fact that they're like intangible, but just they're very, very lightweight and susceptible to like floating slightly in the air. He has these fins coming out of like his shoulder blade areas.
And how do you react seeing your reflection looking back at you?
I'm very happy. This looks exactly like it should be. I think I'm assuming it's the same woman is the one who gave me a waiver and just let me let me get into this pyramid scheme.
Yep, Jennifer.
Okay, I thank her a lot. I do want a copy of that contract, that waiver, because I have a feeling I'm going to need to read it for a while.
It was like a carbon copy, so you wrote and then she peeled it and gave you the second half, and it's like the same contract with your signature on it.
Can I see what the penalty is if I don't recruit people?
It looks like essentially they have the right to come after you and your descendants for payment, and they expect, 2 more souls to like experiment on, and if you don't provide them, then they come after you for monetary compensation in the neighborhood of 1,250 gold.
I'd like to take 1,250 gold out of my bag and just give it to Mordenkainen just to be done with this.
You just want to buy your way out?
Absolutely. You just gave us like 10k gold each.
That's true. He's like,
Yeah,
are you sure? I mean, there's no need to make this decision now. Maybe if you buy your way out now, there's no way to recruit later. Save yourself 1,200 gold.
Right, but just like you gave us, it's very possible that in this waiver that I have not read very well, you're asking for more than 1,200 gold when you're coming to collect.
If you'd like to break it, that's fine. I will gladly take your money. And they'll take,
Absolutely.
Yep, they take the 1,250 gold away from you.
Oh, that was much less terrifying than I thought it would be.
And they like stamp like a big like void on your contract and give it back to you, paid in full, and it's like signed and dated.
Okay.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise, Mr. Kynan.
Mr. Kind. Your friends are outside waiting for you.
Oh, okay, great. I want to.
You think they wouldn't come back?
I'm glad they're here. I got kind of scared, but
Fair enough. But just keep in mind, I don't want to see you and your friends back here causing trouble. Understood?
we won't cause any more trouble. Do you want me to roll deception, or does he just know that I'm not messing with it, but I'm just kind of lying?
Yeah, he's not so concerned that you are saying the truth as much as he's just making sure that you like the look on his face is like you understand what I'm saying. Whether or not you listen is up to you, right?
Yeah. I understand, Mr. Kynan.
Yep. So they lead you basically back out to the like waiting room, and the like sort of door at the bottom unfolds, and you're able to descend from the Tower of Erm into Avernus. So you're descending into Avernus again. The new you. So all of you guys waiting there, like you guys show up, you're like, okay, well, like, how are we gonna get Zeke? And in that moment, the thing opens and Zeke walks out.
So, how are we gonna get Zeke?
Hi, guys.
Oh,
That's his face.
Good to see you all, too.
That's his face.
Yeah, I still have facial hair. That's not weird.
It's actually more weird that you have facial hair now.
I can't not laugh at the idea of a crab with a beard.
The crowd.
Yeah, it's more weird.
You said, did you take?
Okay, maybe it is weird. Maybe you're right, Marius.
You took the gliding feature, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the carapace.
So you could just glide off the steps. You know what I mean?
Actually, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll gently float down off of the steps.
I think that's a target, Hal. Take the shot.
What does it look like when you glide?
It looks god awful. This large crab crustacean creature, the fins in Zeke's back kind of like they catch the air a little bit and they expand a little past his shoulders.
Like, is this sort of based on like manta rays, or is it like a flying squirrel pouch thing you got going there, or like what animal is this like stitched to you? You know what I mean?
It's probably closer to like the effect of a flying squirrel, where like it's that almost like that like you know you have that bit between your fingers, or like the flying squirrels have that bit between their limbs that like catches the air and expands, but it's in the shape of like some like aquatic manta ray fins.
Okay. So you all watch as Zeke descends.
Jordan.
Wow.
The internet is an amazing tool.
Wow.
If only I had 8 legs.
This is the image that Jordan shared in our Discord. Crab glider.
You're all on your games tonight with finding crab-related images very quickly.
The internet is a wonderful place, as Jordan said.
Oh my.
So, Zeke, you have achieved your final, like your best you, and I guess my question for you guys is like, what's next?
I'm assuming that they catch me. You guys are gonna like catch me up on what you've done, and
We're certainly not going to catch you.
No.
That's what I was. That's where my mind
move out of the
went.
way.
catch me. Just slowly floats down.
Catch me, husband. We're not married anymore.
Yeah, Zeke still thinks the marriage is over.
Yeah.
We were wondering the fine points of whether or not to put another soul coin in this thing or leave it here, but it doesn't. I don't think Wernickeinen is going to happily watch our property while we gallivant back to the material plane.
We do still need the machine to get to the docks, right?
Yes. Well, I don't know.
We'll get
I-
to other places.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how this plane shift stuff works. And Morthos, you haven't done it
Morthos
before,
doesn't
right?
either.
I don't either.
Yeah.
All I know is that it'll take us back to the plane unless we know, like if I've seen the sill or a signet, I can get us right to that spot.
Well, yeah, we were in Candlekeep for like a whole day before
Yep.
So
I should there. And then what about by the docks, Mr. DM? Is
Or-
there a signet or a sill or something that I can focus
Or-
in on to get us right back to the docks?
or you bring us here, and
Right,
then we drive back. But I mean,
So let me see.
What we could do is we could leave one of those
Yeah,
Zariel coins just like in the machine. Not like in a slot, but just on the ground. And then you just look at one and focus really hard on it. That might help get back here specifically.
well, I feel like, and I point towards the tower. I feel like that's a pretty easy thing to focus on.
So yeah, so like specifically what the spell says, like looking at it, like I can maybe pop it into chat, but it says you and up to 8 willing creatures who link hands in a circle are transported to a different plane of existence. You can specify a target destination in general terms, such as the City of Brass on the elemental plane, of fire, or the Palace of Despater on the second level of the 9 Hells, or appear in or near that destination. If you're trying to reach the City of Brass, for example, you might just arrive in its street, etc. It says alternatively, if you know the location of a teleportation circle, you can go straight to that teleportation circle on another plane. But
Oh, yeah,
you could
you don't
easily
do that.
just choose like the docks or the Tower of Erm and teleport or plane shift directly to there, right?
Nice.
Yeah, so we can try to, and if that doesn't really, if there's a roll or something involved and that doesn't work out, then we could just, and we end up back at the tower, we could just put a soul coin in then. We don't need to have it running.
For what it's worth, there are a giant company of like mercenaries here that you could probably hire to like either keep an eye on everything, or offload it and see if they want to buy it.
It's a good point. It doesn't sound like we're going to need it on another plane, but we might want it back if we come back here to take care of Belle and the other demon prince.
I'll ask them to. I mean, maybe those guys want to keep an eye on it for us.
So what could we pay them then?
Ava, should we go speak to the gentleman?
Yeah, probably should.
Ava, you do the talking. Yeah, so you want to chase down some of these Yugoloths and see if you what is the proposal? What are you guys trying to work out here?
We just want a way to store the war machine somewhere safe.
Cash money.
Yes, offering money.
Okay. How long are we talking?
We don't know how time works here compared to the material plane.
Well, okay, so it's like one day here is like a couple days on the material plane, right? That's how Rosala said it was.
Oh shit, I don't remember.
You know, depends what plane we're talking, but assuming you're referring to the material plane, it flows. It's not a constant, but a good rule of thumb is basically one day here is a 10-day there.
All right, so maybe like 1 day, 2 days.
Yeah, we shouldn't. 2 days here would be 20 days
1 day.
there. Yeah.
So you just need us to take care of it, to look after it. How about this? We'll watch your vehicle and keep it under protection for, let's say, 100 gold a day. And if it goes longer, then we will do a surcharge of 150 gold per day over the contract that you don't pay up front to get it out of impound.
Did my car just get impounded? That's holy crap.
Basically, yeah. Is that agreeable? Like, how many days would you like to pay up front?
I think just 1 day, right?
Perfect. We can draw up the paperwork for that.
Cool.
They start like making like a contract, like a literal like contract. Like an imp shows up and like notarizes it, like and takes it down, but it's just a scroll of paper that basically says that you guys will pay for 1 day up front for 100 gold, and if it takes you longer than a day to come back, it'll be 150 gold per day, as long as they keep it in good condition.
Yeah.
And if something happens to your vehicle, then they are responsible for refunding the 100 initial gold.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Seems about right. All right, Zeke, sign it.
I'm still like over with the other guys. Like, okay. Start like. I guess I turn sideways and start running over.
Zoidberg over there.
There is no physical reason I need to run sideways now.
He's actually much lower that way.
Yeah, there's no souls involved with this contract. This is like a much baseline contract. So yeah, Zeke's the one that signs for you guys. Okay, Zeke puts his name down. They put their hand out for the 100 gold.
Out of the party gold.
Perfect.
Party expense.
And a couple of them come over and like push it into their camp, and then they basically take it in and are willing to watch it, and they say you can come back for it. They'll see you in a day.
All right, so let's divvy up all the gold into each of our pockets and some on Sol, because I don't want to leave 50,000 or 49.
Can Sol come with us?
Yeah, he's a creature.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just gotta hold, like he has to sit and you have to hold his hoof as you do the ritual.
Yep, he's gonna sit and put one hoof out to each person.
But yeah, he could definitely come.
Because we got plane shifted with him last time.
Oh, that's right.
I'm really curious to see who's gonna hold Zeke's hand during this. Spell requires a circle holding hand.
You still have your regular arms, right? Or is it just the little baby arms?
I have my regular arms. They're just a little like red and crustacean-y, but they're pretty normal compared to everything else. But it's still just weird.
Let's just make a circle and do this.
Okay. So you guys kind of like make a circle. You link hands. Explain to us, Morthos. What are you doing?
That was a good question.
Everyone's eyes is on you because this is your moment. You say, I got this, guys. I got this.
Yep.
Candlekeep on the material plane. Make sure you're
Yep.
focusing on that.
I'm focused on that. It's my first time, and I
Not,
say,
not inside Candlekeep, like the front of Candlekeep, because remember they have it warded up all to 9 hells. So the front of Candlekeep, where we like came in front of the
when we
gatehouse.
first came in, right in front of the gate.
Yeah, not inside because
Right.
they have it protected.
Yep. So right in front of the gate. So I'm focused on that, and I yell out, "Abracadabra! Reach out and Candlekeep."
Okay.
And we're all holding hands
Yeah.
and hooves and claws and everything else.
Yeah, so you say that, right? And you're holding it, and then like there's like a moment where like nothing happens, and there's a little whisper in your ear, Morthos, and it says, "You have to flick the tuning fork."
So I look around at everybody like, okay, they didn't hear that. Thank God. And I hit the tuning fork. I kind of flick it.
You flick it, and there's like a little hum as it begins to resonate, and then the spell like amplifies the resonation of this. That kind of goes out, and the world around you starts vibrating. And then there's like a small point in the center that almost like a black hole that opens. And then you all feel yourself being pulled into this sort of black hole space, falling and tumbling as you fall through the sort of astral plane. Things whizzing by. You like can't breathe. It's like squeezing on you so much that you're like holding your breath to the point where you almost feel like you're gonna like black out from like lack of oxygen. And then instantly you guys are like appear holding hands in the same manner you were. And outside we see Candlekeep.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. I'm like, wow, shit, that worked.
Well done.
What was that,
Yeah,
Morthos?
good job, Morthos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank God it's done. Yeah, and so that instantly that hellish like sort of like plane of existence, everything being terrible, hot, unbearable, all that washes away, and you guys are like caught in like a cool like wintry air that's like blowing through. There's like a light bit of snow kind of on the ground around you guys, and everyone is like instantly hit with like a wave of freezing because you guys have now appeared at Candlekeep in winter. And when you guys left, it was like basically like mid-spring.
Oh.
So I'm guessing it's going to cost us a little bit more money to get the machine back. Is it even worth it, or are they going to just keep adding money to it?
Well, no, I think we'll be fine because we have 10 days here. About
Yeah.
Like 10 days here is equivalent to about a day back in Avernus. So yeah. So yeah, you guys appear and you see. So I can pull you here. I'll show you the handout again because it's been a while since we were here. But
oh, it's such a fucking cool map. Look at that map.
Map is in red. Wow.
oh wait, no, that's not the right one. This is the
Oh,
handout.
it's such a cool map.
It's beautiful from where we've been.
Yeah, it's right on the water, so that cold, wintry wind is blowing in off the ocean, washing over you guys, and of course, I mean it's cold, but this is such a nice sort of feeling.
Feels so good.
Yeah. And yeah, so you guys are like outside of Candlekeep. It's like just before sunset. You can see the sun probably has another like 30 minutes or so before it goes down. And you guys are standing there shivering, and Saul, of course, is back to being a regular warhorse.
Looking good, Saul.
It's freaking freezing, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Wow. All right, let's get in there.
Yep, so you make your way to the gates, and as you approach, there are like 5 purple-robed monks that are like kind of standing out. And like one of the 5 kind of like slowly comes like approaching you guys. hands tucked in under the folding cloth as he, nods and says, "Welcome to Candlekeep. You've made it just before we close the gates for the night.
Sometimes it works out.
May I help you? Are you here to seek knowledge?"
We're here to seek knowledge, give knowledge, and barter knowledge.
Sounds like you've come to the right place. May you present your gift.
Oh, I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, we need a gift.
Does it have to be unique or just to be fancy?
Unique.
Oh fuck!
Do we have a copy of my contract?
How do we forget that?
Yes, we do. I mean, we already know your contract, right?
Yeah, we already figured it out. Do you want a contract from a demon? From a devil, sorry?
Devil Prince. Or Devil Pit Fiend.
Mhm.
The previous Archduke of Avernus.
You may present it for inspection.
Ignore all the
Contract.
Yeah, he holds his hands out for the.
ignore the coffee stains and all the highlighting.
There's 3 different highlighter colors. Some little like post-it note tabs to like get back to later.
Like they take it, right, and he nods and he says, "Just wait right here. I'll be right back." And he kind of goes back and shuffles back to the other purple robed monks, and he hands it off to them, and they like take it, and you watch as like the front gates open, and they take it in, and like the gates close behind him, and leaving just him, and he makes his way back to you guys. And
I have, if they don't accept that, if they have contracts already, I still have the Journal of Cambion, the crazy guy from the Elturel's graveyard. So I mean,
what was his name?
that's
Gideon.
Gideon's
Okay.
Gideon's journal. So if they
The
don't
thing that
accept the
cursed
contract,
Hal on, we never really knew.
yes.
That was fantastic.
Hi, it's me again, Eliana from.
Yeah, so like he says, like they're just gonna inspect it for authenticity, make sure that it doesn't appear to be a forgery, make sure it's not a copy of something in our collections, and if it all checks out, then you will be. And he's like, who presented this? Like, who is the one? Is it Ava that handed it over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he looks at Ava and
I would
says,
assume.
like, yeah, like you will be granted seeker access for a 10-day, and you are welcome to stay within our walls, and you will have access to our collection of knowledge. Your servants, I suppose, are welcome to stay in the quarters with you, but they will not be granted access to the libraries, unless you too have come to seek knowledge and have gifts you would like to present.
We were actually hoping that our mistress could meet with Silvera.
If I'm not mistaken, Silvera.
Tiefling lady?
Expert on the 9 hells.
Yes.
Well, we can certainly, assuming everything checks out, we can certainly put you in contact with her, and if what you brought is authentic, then I'm sure she'd be very interested in finding time to meet with you.
That's very authentic.
It wouldn't be your personal contract, would it? And he laughs. Oh, right. Well, all the same, it's definitely worth, access to our library. But I do have to clear you. You are willing to present yourself for interrogation. We simply must probe your mind to make sure you're not here to cause trouble. We've had incidents.
Can I be
yeah.
honest? I'm here to more shop than anything. And
Yeah,
talk
we.
to Silvera.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if that requires a lie detector test or zone of truth, then I guess I'm okay with that.
Very
I'm good with
well.
it.
And you all consent to such measures?
We did last time, right? In our memory, we did that when we came here the first time, didn't we?
I think so. I don't, because you guys came here. We came here with
Oh yeah.
what's his face, and he was kind of in charge of like this process, I think.
Right.
Right, like last time you guys came, it was Philaster Fisk kind of like handled this aspect and getting in, and he was known here, and he was able to get in. But it seems like they're just kind of going through the normal like admission process for like random strangers off the street, right?
So I'll mention that and say the last time we were here with our mistress, we traveled with Philaster Fisk, and this wasn't necessary. Is this a new thing, or is it because we didn't come with a someone who was, you know, a part of the organization?
Oh, if you are not one of the avowed, then this is generally the standard procedure. One copy of a text allows you access for 10 days of research. It's a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, if it's just like a zone of truth and interrogation, I don't.
It's
think it's that big a deal.
It's more of a detect thoughts to make sure you're not hiding something.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. You can do that to me. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So I mean, he will, while they're inspecting your thing, he will use detect thoughts and kind of like ask each one of you to make sure you're not here to like assassinate someone or research something that's like terrible or like not even terrible. Like he asks like, you know, what your primary business is here and make sure that you're telling the truth, right?
I think we all say shopping.
Yeah. And like
He's
nothing
very confused why 5 adventurers are here to shop.
and unless I'm like mistaken on your guys' motives, I don't think he's gonna find anything that's gonna like keep him away, right?
Shop
Yeah.
and sell. We got something to sell.
Yep, that's the only reason we came here. As far as
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone else's character is doing.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
merchantry.
he does explain that like you get access to like the entire catalog of information here for 10 days. Most people would, you know, to come here, it's a great honor to be accepted into that. So you'd be a fool not to take advantage of it. If there's anything you guys need to learn more about,
We're so
the
good
answers
at
are probably
investigating things.
here in the tomes of this library.
Might be good to do if I mean, right? I think you made it very clear to us, Steve, that like everything may not be here, but they've got the pool to be able to get stuff for us.
Yep.
So if something is going to take like a week for them to get something and bring it here, we can use that time or Ava can use that time with one of her servants to go investigate in the library. Maybe we can get some information on these levels before we just jump into another layer of hell.
Yeah.
Good call.
Basically, like whoever, like for every person that presents a book and gets access to research, that's one person that's able to spend a week researching something, right?
Then I'm gonna give the Journal of Gideon to Hal because he gets the mechanical bonus of the advantage on like fiend information.
But Hal can't read, right?
Yes, but maybe he and Ava can work in together.
Candlekeep does say that like here in our halls, like even those who are not fortunate enough to be literate can still, you know, we have ways to help those who may be less inclined to reading. And he like looks at you confused, Hal. Even though I'm pretty sure Hal can read.
Stick out my hand, waiting for Marius to give me the book, and I'm like,
I give him the Journal of Gideon.
Yeah, there basically is like audio.
It curses him again.
Don't read it, just give it to him.
Yeah, you hand it over to him. So he takes Gideon's journal and like looks at it and kind of like flips and like reads like the first page or so. And he's like, can you explain what's the story behind this book?
I can do so if you need. In our travels to rescue El Terrell from the Avernus, we found a priest, maybe, who had made a deal with Zariel to change the people of the city into undead to protect the city from the demon hordes. And this is his journal, and it kind of is his ramblings, if you will, but really his change from being a devout man of, you know, celestial faith to someone who served an angel who had fallen to the status of a Nine Hells Archduke. And
I guess at that point, it's a good point too, because he kind of looks you up and down. And he says, "Oh, I actually didn't realize. Are you an angel?"
That's a long story.
So
actually.
is this the story of you? I see.
No. That's a story of Gideon, the
But
priest.
he wasn't serving you.
No.
Okay.
No.
You wouldn't be the first angel to come and, trying to drop off a story that like paints itself in a good light. I will take this to be inspected. Just hold tight.
Oh, good point. You might want to send, when you send that through to get checked, you might want to send a message to Silvara, because we did have a deal with her to give her information that we got when we were in Avernus. So I don't know if that'll speed up this process or not. She was kind of expecting us after if we succeeded.
I will certainly make the proper arrangements should they become necessary.
Thank you.
And yeah, so he takes the book back and passes it over for inspection. Both books pass inspection enough, and they are unique and not something they have, and something that they are willing to take into their collection. So both Ava and Hal are granted the basically the rank of Seeker, which allows you access to some of the library towers where you can do research.
Very cool.
For the next 10 days. And I
say let's do 8 so we don't push it.
Well, yeah, but you have access for 10 days. How much you spend is up to you guys, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
So, he basically takes you into the front gate, and he gives like Ava and Hal like little special, almost like badges that denote you as like very honored guests. And they tell you basically to he motions you, and you guys kind of come in, and you're here, right, in this like kind of big courtyard area through the main gate, and they point to this like green door at the end, and they say that there is the Emerald Gate. Be welcome here, Ava and Hallandar, so long as you treat books with the reverence they deserve, eschewing fire, damp, the torn page, and the removal of lore from the eyes of others. Cross the yard ahead of you to the green-hued door, and give your name to the keeper of the Emerald Door. You'll be provided with food, a bath, quarters in which to sleep, and a moot with the monk who will escort you on your first visit to the Room of Tomes.
Thank you. Is there like another inn here where my servants can stay?
Each of your rooms is furnished with a master bed and 3 smaller ones. So between the 2 of you, then you should be able to have it covered, I imagine.
Thank you.
Oh, and not to, Mr. Angel guy, your horse, we can stable him here. We don't provide the food, but we can take care of him otherwise if you have food on hand.
Shit, have we ever needed to feed Saul before?
I don't think Saul technically needs to eat. I don't know.
No, he's good. He's good. Where is it? And then I look at Saul and I say, no, right there. You're good. And then Saul just turns and walks away after I was speaking to my horse.
Yeah, it's this 6 number right here on the bottom. This is like the little stables where they house. Yep. Most people come here on horseback.
I look at Saul and I go, hey, let me know if you need anything. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like they're like, I've been so dying for a spa day. You don't even know.
You deserve it. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. And they take Saul over to the stables, and the rest of you guys make your way to the green door, where a monk meets you and greets Ava and Hal. Like, they only ever like speak to Ava and Hal, and they like ignore the rest of you, even though Marius is like this angelic creature. Completely like ignore the fact that you're an angelic creature and Zeke's a crab guy. Like, they don't care.
Nice.
And they tell you that, like, are you eager to get to the towers right now, or perhaps you're looking to have a bath and a rest? You tell us.
I'll go to the towers now, as long as you got somebody who can do that wiggly wiggly of their fingers, and allow me to read the books, that'd be great.
Right. Special accommodations. And he goes into this little drawer and he starts looking and he pulls out like a stone and he hands it to you. And he basically says, like, touch this to any book and it'll read its contents out loud to you.
Can I buy this from you?
Oh, this is very sacred property. We ask that you please do not remove anything like from the premises without explicit permission. If you're interested in purchasing one, then we can put you in contact with somebody and have one made. But please, this has been around here for hundreds and hundreds of years.
So, can I buy it?
Master Hal? Yes, I think we should definitely set that up for you to purchase one.
We could definitely, get you one with less historical value.
Understood. Perfect. I mean, are you gonna go, Ava? Are you gonna come along, or when is Savera gonna be ready?
Oh yeah, is there a messenger from her yet, or?
All right, we sent a runner right now to try to make contact with her and let her know that you are seeking an audience with her, and hopefully we will have a response shortly.
When you say shortly, what's the time frame on that?
I mean, it shouldn't take our monks more than, an hour to get there and back, unless there's,
Good.
Yeah, assuming
Maybe-
she on premises. I can't vouch for if she's in her office, and if she's not, then we have to arrange for somebody to make contact with her and see where she is and if she can return. I can't make any promises.
Mistress Lenacker, maybe we could be shown to our rooms to set down much of our belongings, so
your hundreds of pounds of gold.
Yes, we're all heavy with gold,
right?
Yeah. So, but how you want to go straight for the stocks right now? Like straight for the books?
Yeah, especially if I got a stone that lets me read all the books. Sheesh.
Yeah. So for Ava or anyone else that wants to go back to like the room, one of the monks, they assign you somebody that's like your personal assistant to make sure you have everything you need during your stay, and he escorts you down here to like where number 2 is on the map, and this is your kind of like quarters where you guys are allowed to stay in. It's like a really, really low tier like hotel room, like not up to your standards of luxuries at all, Ava. But like compared to like where you guys have been living, it's like a soft bed in a nice climate. You know what I mean? It's like, it's pretty nice. For some of you guys, it's probably really nice, but not for Ava and not for Marius, unfortunately.
It
it's
probably doesn't fit the crab shell super comfortably.
they have like a bigger bed, right? Like the master bed, and then there's like 3 small cots on the other side of the room. And you have a room, Ava, and Hal has his own room, but he hasn't been shown to it quite yet. And yeah, you're able to set your stuff down and kind of get comfortable, I guess. They can arrange for a bath if you'd like to take a bath.
I kind of want a bath.
Yeah, we can do that while we wait. Well, you can do that, and we'll wait in the hall.
Will you be needing your servants to attend you during your bath, or are they?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, we don't provide full service. I'm just some people expect a certain level of service that we are not accustomed to here.
No, that's okay.
Perfect. So they show you to like where the bath is and stuff, and they will like show you how to fetch the hot water and stuff. So what you see, Hal? Oh, sorry,
I'll fetch the hot water.
You fetch the hot water.
Yep.
So how they kind of like lead you up this little staircase from the Emerald Gate to this sort of like room and into these like tower things up here, which they refer to on the legend as the Necessariums. So here's what you see. You kind of like walk into like a tower, and they open like a pretty hefty door, and immediately as you walk in, you're hit with like the smell of like tons and tons of like books and ink that like hits you. It's a very distinct smell. And you're in this tower that's pretty far across, right? It's like, I think if we measure like one of these towers, they're like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 to like 100 feet across in diameter. And from where you are, the bottom level is a very, very plush reading room like full of like couches and like a warm fireplace and tables and studies, and like there's like a writing desk that has like ink and all the paper and quills you would need. And it's a very posh sort of lap of luxury reading room. And your eyes look up, and this tower goes for like hundreds of feet up. And about like 50 feet up above this like nice room, you see there's like a balcony. And from that balcony, you can see the rest of the tower is just like the other 100 feet to the top of this tower is just books floor to ceiling. It's like the top half of the tower is a library and the bottom half is a really nice reading room. And your eyes go up and you can see like some like of the purple robe monks up there, kind of like looking down at you. And the your personal assistant is kind of like, if there's a specific book you're searching for, or maybe a sort of general topic, we'd be happy to get you started.
Category 9 Hell, specific plane, Stygia, and the most ancient piece of music you have.
Oh. Any specific culture of music you're interested in? If we're going ancient, you're probably looking Draconic or Elvish or Netherese. Elvish it is. And he kind of goes away, and yeah, like mechanically, they're gonna find a book, bring you a book like written on Stygia that you can kind of read, and then as you read through it, you can kind of request more specific books, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do at this point over like the next 10 days, right, is give you guys like a week of downtime to spend here at Candlekeep, to spend how you guys wish.
Okay.
Amazing.
So in addition to all the downtime stuff you can do, like in the Xanathar's Guide and in the Player's Handbook and stuff, there are some special things you can do here at Candlekeep for those of you who are seekers, right? So like Ava and Hal have access to like the entire run of the keep, and can arrange. You're not allowed through the Emerald Gate unless you make a specific, meeting with someone, and then they'll walk you in and go ahead and do that. But generally, you guys have more access to things than like Zeke and Morthos and Marius, who are here as your guys' like servants. They're not really allowed access to the reading rooms. They're not allowed access to anywhere except for these sort of like servants' quarters. So really, at this point, the only people that have, like, you guys have downtime in that context. So however you guys want to spend that, you let me know. But for like Ava and Hal, you have access to research topics and stuff like that. And if we're talking about like buying magic items and stuff, we can do that and just have like, like Ava and Hal arrange for people to come by, and then you can have like, Marius, Morthos, Zeke spend their downtime doing that. In addition, there are special things you can research here in, other than just like general information, like, you're talking about wanting to learn about Stygia and stuff, Hal. There are definitely like special sort of research things you can do here. So you basically pick a research topic, like you're saying Stygia, and then if you want to dedicate your like time to researching that topic, you're going to pour through so many books, and then you're going to make like an investigation check that's going to give you like sort of pieces of lore that you learn. And the way I want to do this, instead of me up front telling you lore, what I'd like to do is give you like basically like lore points, and allow you at any point in the future to like cash in one of your lore points in a flashback to something you read in Candlekeep and instantly recall that information.
That's so awesome.
I think that'll be fun. A funner way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if that's, if you want to like spend your time researching, then we can do that. So considering we're like pretty much at the end of our session tonight, instead of like trying to cram in all this stuff right now, why don't you guys take the next week to think about it and see how you guys want to spend this downtime and what you guys want your characters to do. I know you guys have magic item shopping you really want to do. So just to go over the rules for how like magic item shopping works in like Xanathar's, if there's like a specific magic item you want, or just a generic list of magic items you want, you basically pay 100 gold down, and then you try to find somebody. They use that 100 gold to try to make contact with somebody out there that is willing to bring what you need to Candlekeep, or somebody on site that has what you need. And then from there, if you find the specific item you want, then there's like a random roll that kind of takes the base price and modifies it a bit, so we find out how much it costs, and then you guys can buy it or not. So for the price guide, we did link one in our Hell Crab appreciation chat, which was I think you pinned it, right, Brianna?
No, I think you.
Discerning Merchant's price
Or-
guide. You pinned it.
And then there's also the Sane Magical Prices one too.
Right.
Yeah, so I think the same prices, I like it, but it's a little out of date because it's older, and this one is almost it's not through Tasha's, but it's through all the other books. So we're gonna use the Discerning Merchant's price guide. It's actually a little more favorable to like players because it's like less, like hundreds of thousands of golds for things. But if there's something you're interested in, that you're not sure about, just run it by me this week, and I'll let you know if I think it's game breaking. I can't imagine I'll turn you guys down on much.
The interesting thing is last time we did a bit of bartering. Like, so are we not going to be doing that this time? Or are we going to be selling him for gold and then?
That's sort of a thing. So I know you guys still are planning to do a meeting with Silvira Savicus, and I do want that to happen. So that will happen next week, and you can talk with her about possibly bartering some stuff as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you guys know her and because you guys have worked out this thing, it's kind of like a special deal. So this other thing would be in addition to whatever that is.
Nice.
So, if you want to spend your downtime finding magical items to purchase, you can. If you want to spend your downtime researching a topic of and how, you can. If you want to spend your downtime, whatever else is in the if you want to do become a gambler or do a crime heist here at Candlekeep, I mean, I guess, have fun. Scribing a spell scroll is something you should be able to do. Like Morthos could start scribing spell scrolls, stuff like that. I think there's some other stuff, so I will. There is a guide here at like for things you can do like at Candlekeep, like special things besides the research. So like they have these special sort of like basically you could learn a tool proficiency or a what is it? Let me see. It's called like a training manual, so kind of like the training manual in the player's handbook, but it allows you to learn a single language or a tool proficiency, as long as you keep the book on you and like in your like nightly downtime, just keep it fresh. You can learn a new tool or a new language, and that's something you can get here from Candlekeep. So that would be like Ava and Hal would have access to that sort of stuff and could buy some of those manuals. So yeah, take this next week, look through Xanathars, hit me up if there's any sort of questions you guys have about what you can and can't do. And next week we will do our meeting with Silvira Savicus. We will have our, maybe not like, it's not like, I wouldn't call it a beach episode, but I'd like you guys to have a slight breather from like the hellish landscape that is Avernus and maybe do some of the stuff you guys are looking to do with your characters. Any role-playing moments, any magic items or stuff like that. And then next week, most likely, we're going back to Avernus and then potentially down to Stygia? Or are you guys making a detour to go kill Bell?
I'm not sure. Do we want to do that first, or
I'm not sure with you guys.
I think if we do that, we should do that on the way back. I think we should head down and try to save Hal's dad first.
Okay.
Well, keep in mind that as long as Ava's still under contract, if she dies, she's permadead.
Yeah. So the same way Zeke, when he goes to 16, he dies, and then he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Ava is right now. She dies, we're not able to revive her.
Right. Because her soul is forfeit to Bell.
Yeah, I'd like to do Bell first in that case. Just so that way we do have that extra buffer. Even if it like we end up reviving Ava after she goes down and she dies anyway, like there was something we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just 0 HP, boom.
So like I am prepared for that. Obviously, like going and killing Bell is something you guys plan to do, or at least, I thought it was a really high likelihood. I just want to like, I guess, give you guys some caution and some warning that it is technically possible to do. That doesn't mean it's easy, because you're talking about going into like Bel's fortress and like defeating him, right? So 100% is something you guys could do, but it is a very, very strong possibility you guys go try to do that and TPK, and then that's like the end of Beyond Avernus. That's fine. Just know that is, you know, that is a very strong possibility. It's a cool way to go out. I just don't know what you guys want to do.
It's definitely all in his favor, right? Because he's in there. He's got all of his frost giants. He's got like his room set up. He's got that thing hanging up in the darkness that like Hal and
That cannon thingy.
that cannon thing that was like hanging up there. Like there's a lot of unknowns we have going in there. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It is risky, right? This isn't like Zariel where you just convince her to like, you know, go back to being good. This is like a very like it's doable. I'm not saying you guys can't win. I'm just saying, first of all, it's not going to be easy, and I'm not going to be like, you know, like in that last fight I didn't finish off because it didn't make sense, but like in this case, you know, it's very real that Lava could die or somebody else could die, and that's where the story takes us. That's where the story takes us. The flip side is it's kind of set up in a terrible way where you're right. If you go down without taking care of the contract and Ava goes down, then she's down permanently. Which I've also reached out to Brianna and let her know, like, you know, just have some back characters in your pocket, because it's a very real possibility that this could happen. So I did let you guys, like, it gave you like as a bit of a teaser of showing you like Bel's fortress and letting you know the kind of things you guys have to go up against, so you as players realize you're getting into this thing. And I'm all for doing it, and I've set up combat scenarios if that's the way we want to go. But the reality is, it could lead to a TPK, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, you guys have like wiped the floor with everything I've thrown at you so far, so we'll see.
You say that every single time, but like the fights that we've wiped the floor, aka, is also like 3 people had gone unconscious during that fight.
That is very true. But like, yeah,
comparatively.
Yeah.
And this sounds like it's a much tougher fight.
It just, I mean, he's got everything stacked in his favor. Like he's got home field advantage. In other words,
He's smart.
That's the
He's
biggest
not like
difference.
who just kind of like swing flail. He's like, he'll plan things.
Zariel's very much like on the battlefield fighting with her soldiers, leading the war from the front line. That's not Bel's style. So, you know, he's in his fortress. Then you guys would have to even basically get in his fortress and face him there. So you'd have to get through his sort of guards to even get to him in the first place.
Yeah, he's got his army outside. He's got his frost giants in there. He's gonna have his lair.
Technically, they're fire giants, but yeah.
I think you called them frost giants before.
Maybe, but they're definitely fire giants.
They're very tall.
So, you guys let me know what you guys want to do. Like, you know, I'm prepared for that. I've got battle maps made up for Bell, if that's what we want to do, because, you know, I'm trying to be prepared. There's no easy. What I'm saying is, there's no easy answer here, right?
Right. Well, we got a week, so we can get back into our chat room that we have set up for the party. We can talk about what we want to do with our downtime, and then when we make all those decisions, we'll put them in the Hell Crab appreciation chat, or as it's now known, the Zeke appreciation chat, because that's what he is now.
Zeke is the Hell Crab all along.
Yep, has always been. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm really interested in going through Xanthars and looking at all the downtime activities and see what we can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a feeling most of you guys are going to want to do is like magic item shopping, but like I kind of imagine the magic item shopping is more passive than active. So like you guys are putting money down and all that's happening during this downtime, and then you can have your active time spent doing something else.
Yep.
So yeah, awesome. Well, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. This has been fun, and you know, we're still. I guess we're kind of beyond Avernus, but we've regressed back to the material plane.
Beyond the 9 hells.
Beyond the 9 hells. So, but we're definitely, you know, this has been fun. I just love seeing where you guys take the story, and I love rolling with it. So, you guys are great. So. This is Beyond Avernus. I'm Dan Steve. This is the Alleged 5. And we'll be back here next Sunday, 6 o'clock, same as this week on Twitch. If you're following us on Twitch right now, hit that follow button. Help us get our numbers up. If you're watching this on YouTube and you made it to the end of the video, wow, you're amazing. We love you. I'll give you $100 if you message me and you hit the like and subscribe button.
Hold on.
There's an asterisk. There's an asterisk on this, and that it's not legally binding. It's 100.
How could you?
Oh man, I was about to
100
message you.
Asmodeus dollars.
No, not Asmodeus dollars.
Tell you what, in a real thing, instead of giving $100, you like, you subscribe, you comment, and tell me which player you want, and I'll give that player an extra 1,000 gold.
Like,
It's not $100, but
subscribe, and it's me. Oh, I see the likes already going up. Great.
yeah, just make a bunch of accounts and spam it.
And if you get two of your friends to watch
Oh no!
Each one. Okay, yeah. Right now, each one of you need to find two of your friends to start watching,
Oh my god!
and get them to like and subscribe. And before you know it, we'll have quite a few numbers.
We get 1,000 gold for each referral.
Yes.
This has been my favorite bit all night. It's been all forms of evil, devilish or humanoid. It's just pyramid schemes.
It's pyramid schemes all the way down, and simic hybrid. So yeah, you guys have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Thanks for the great session, Steve. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thanks for giving me a great session, guys.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. I'm just like, I feel like I'm there's like a cart with like wolves that are pulling me in like crazy directions, and I'm just trying to like not steer you guys off a cliff, but I'm not in control of the situation. It's like, that's the best way I can describe it.
He's doing it. He believes.
So
I mean, sometimes you just have to whip us, be like, do something. Ah!
all right, I'm DM Steve. Follow me on Twitter. Follow us. Peace out, guys. We'll see you next Sunday night. Take care. My button's not working.